Hello and welcome to the sadly final episode of Nintendo Podcast System. For the last time, I am your host, Matthew Gibson, and joining me for the last time is Jack Gorn.
Oh, it's so sad to say last time though, isn't it?
For the last time, it will be the very last time that I'll be saying last time. For this is the
Are you
last
sure?
time we'll be doing the beginning section of this show,
Yes,
at least.
absolutely.
How are we, Jack? How are we? How are we feeling?
Yes. Pretty good at the moment, mate. To be fair, yeah, there's quite a few changes going on, and I'm in the process of buying my own flat, so that's been quite stressful. But yeah, otherwise I'm pretty good. Yeah, yourself?
Quite alright. Exams are no longer a thing for about 7 months until they come up again.
Yeah, 7 months free of
That's
exams.
okay.
That sounds like that must be really good to be there at this
three
point.
3 months free of anything uni related.
Hey!
Well, unless we count exams results. But who knows? Who
Wow.
knows how that's gonna go? Let's not think
It's
about
gonna
it.
go. It's gonna go really well. You got nothing to worry about, and if it does go wrong, don't worry about it.
That's true. Anyway,
There's always another door that opens. So yeah.
and yes, indeed. Yeah, so as of course I repeated quite a numerous time in that opening section, just now, this is sadly our last episode of Nintendo Podcast System. We've
Do you want
been,
to explain why it's our last episode?
yes, and I'll explain it in not the best manner possible, I'm sure, in true podcast fashion.
Yes.
So we decided on this 3 months ago, actually, almost three
About
months
that.
ago to the day. I put out my initial tweet that um, we were thinking of stopping the show.
Yeah.
And I did a whole tweet longer about it. And just basically, for me at least, I've just not been as motivated before. The reason why you haven't seen any episodes in the past month has been because I've been busy with exams, and it's like I can't have the time to dedicate to that. But other than that, there's been plenty of other times where I have been free to do a podcast, but I just haven't because I haven't really felt like I've wanted to do it basically.
Hmm.
Um,
It's just that motivation sort of thing, isn't
mm,
it? It's quite difficult to motivate yourself when you're so busy doing other things like yourself, for example, you're doing lots of uni work and uni exams and things like that. Even though now you've got a few months off, it's still
mm,
quite a stressful period, and that you
yeah,
want to sort of have a bit of time away from this. But
yeah. So it's
I,
like
I'm in.
even when I was
Go on,
like
go on.
doing like in sixth form, with A levels looming. Of course, I want to do anything in the direct period leading up to exams, but I'd always do roughly about 2 months, fairly often. But like since I came back to uni in my first year, I couldn't really be bothered because for one reason I didn't really like my flatmates that much, and I didn't want to live with them knowing I did a podcast and then their constant teasing of it, which is not very fun.
Right.
And then the second year being more free, but as I've said before, I've just become a bit more bummed out about it for whatever
Yeah.
reason. Like I
Yeah.
still I still like doing podcasts and I still like talking about Nintendo, of course, but for some reason I'm just feeling a bit burnt out with this.
Hmm.
Um,
Maybe that's the reason though. Maybe because we've had that sort of break period and things, and
hmm,
different things change in our lives, of course, and like it just gets harder for me to find time to dedicate to doing these sort of things at the moment. And I'm hoping once I've moved into my new place in the next couple of months, I'll be have a lot more free time to do podcasts and
hmm,
videos and articles and whatever things. But yeah, I mean, I totally understand from your point of view, Matt, and at the same time, I sort of felt a little bit like I couldn't always commit myself to it, kind of thing, And it's the thing with podcasting as well. It's like doing it on your own isn't as fun as doing it with other people,
hmm.
and trying to source guests all the time to come on and find times that sort of works with both of us and stuff like that. It's really hard work, to be honest.
Well,
But
the funny
it's
thing is
just
like you well, like sometimes it can be, but that's when immediately I'm bothered to actually say, hey, I'll be recording this weekend. And it's
yeah,
like, nah. It's like, okay, well, that's a shame, but it's never been like, I don't
yeah,
know. I feel like, because clearly I feel we could have, like, if I was still motivated to do it, I think we could have been pumping out more episodes, but I think it's just going
mm,
back to me feeling burnt out and not wanting to
yeah,
put out something that I know I'm not really that invested in anyway.
yeah.
Um,
But so future of MPods, I'm. This is going to be the final episode. I'm going to be closing the connection to Podomatic down eventually. So I'm sort of going to say maybe end of July.
hmm.
So that means you won't be able to download any episodes after July. So if you do want to download them now, please go ahead and download as many as you can and want to keep or whatever. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to close that down because it's costing a bit of money to keep it ongoing at the moment. Um, but we're also going to keep the YouTube channel available though, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if you planning to close it down or
The YouTube.
not
Or,
sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep YouTube up because it's not costing us
Okay.
anything.
No.
And it'll be good to
So
have like this legacy, let's say.
yeah. So that will always be available if you do want to go back and listen to some episodes. I mean, there's quite a lot of fun different things in each episode, I think, and though some of them are mainly news based, so they might be a little bit out of date by the time you listen to
Oh
them.
yeah, like
I
I'd
think
say a lot are out of date, but again, I just want to
yeah,
say, yeah, we've actually
there's a
done
lot of fun
this.
things
Yeah,
in them.
for this
But
episode
yeah,
then, we've of
this episode.
course got the chunky Nintendo E3 2019 Direct to discuss, to
Oh,
dissect,
oh my god.
and to chat all about. Um, and then of course we're gonna just talk about like what else we're gonna be doing in the future, as well as reading some of the comments that you guys have sent in
Yeah,
for the
that's
final
cool. I'm happy
time.
with that.
Before we
That
get going,
should be fun.
we're just gonna because Jack quickly wanted to mention the games he's been playing.
Yeah, there's not really been a lot I've actually been playing. So I thought I'd just quickly go through a few of the games. The main one I've sort of been downloading and played within the last few months is Final Fantasy VII because that became available on the Switch. I don't know if you downloaded it as well, Matt, or not.
I don't think so. No,
No.
no.
Did you pick up any of the other Final Fantasy games that are coming out?
Um,
Just out of curiosity.
I was thinking of picking up Final Fantasy VII, but it's like,
Yeah.
nah. I'd be more inclined because I'm gonna be getting massive JRPG soon anyway. I'm gonna be getting Fire Emblem in July. I'm gonna be getting Dragon
Yeah.
Quest in September, and I don't want to be burnt out with JRPGs
Mm,
by then.
that's understandable.
Yes.
If you've played Final Fantasy VII before, I think this is probably one of the better versions because you've got there's a turbo mode on it, which basically makes the game go 3 times the speed.
Mhm.
And when you're rushing through cutscenes as you've already seen before, or just massive amounts of text, you can just press in the little trigger, and you're at 3 times speed, and you can turn it on and off whenever you want. And it helped me go through the game pretty quickly, to be fair. And it's still been fun to play through and that, and maybe a little bit grindy still, as Final Fantasy VII always has been. But yeah, really good and really enjoyed that. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee as well has been something else I've been playing. I've actually got all the Pokemon in that game apart from Mew and also Meltan's evolution. So that's 151 technically speaking because I've got Meltan. So yeah, I need to go get the Pokeball controller to get Mew. So it's really
Nice.
annoying. And like, I have to spend money to get Mew to finish this game. I'm like,
So you've got the other Pokemon from the other version then?
yes, because I traded them from Pokemon Go mainly.
Oh,
So
okay.
I traded them over and some of the shinies as well. So you can literally transport them over and transfer them into the Pokemon Safari in the Let's Go game. So yeah, it's pretty much covered
Cool,
most
cool.
of it. Got most of it. Traded a few of some other people online as well, so I could get like the likes of Gengar and Alakazam and stuff you need to trade over. So yeah, all good, all not too bad. Other than that, bit of Fortnite because it's new season. That's been fun-ish, I guess. I've been playing with a lot of people on the Switch and on other consoles as well. I think it's probably the main reason I like Fortnite so much is that I can play with friends who've got Xbox and PS4s as well. But it's one of those. It's Fortnite. Some people like it, some people don't. So And the final one I'll just quickly mention, Hyrule Warriors. I've played a lot of that recently, and I've getting all the final weapons and things now, and I've cleared like 3 or 4 of the adventure maps, so it's getting there. I did say I was going to 100% complete that game by last Christmas, but it didn't happen. So
You're gonna be
still
there
going.
for like a fair number of
I reckon
years.
so. Yeah, it could be another couple of years at least, maybe. But I will 100% that game. I promise you now, Matt. I will one day finish that game completely. So, but yeah, that's pretty much covered everything I've wanted to speak about with what I've been playing. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention quickly, or
Not really.
no,
I can't really.
not
Well,
playing
like
anything.
Cuphead. Cuphead quickly.
Cuphead,
I
yes,
finished that recently. Very, very nice challenge. Loved the presentation and the challenge it offered.
yeah,
Um, Despite some bits being a tad bit infuriating, but on the
definitely.
whole, I'm super happy it's come to the
That's a
Switch.
really difficult game, and I had it on the Xbox, and don't think I've ever completed it. So
Mm,
to say, I believe you finished it now, so
yeah,
it's
it's like well,
say
like those. I just I'm just kind of a fan of like boss rush games, I guess. Like Fury was another example where it was just mainly boss fights. I think I've grown to like those kind of games now. It's like literally the worst. My least favorite things about Cuphead were the traditional 2D platformer levels.
yeah,
Which just I don't know, like they were still fun, but like I just felt like nothing was special about them. But like in the
mm,
bosses, that's where it really shined. I feel like every boss was so unique. I feel. Um,
yeah, in a way, yeah.
anyway, enough of that. The other games I've been playing, I'll be talking about in that E3 presentation because we'll get to either related mirror material or the
Okay,
game itself.
cool.
With that, then let's move on to the next section. So this is our big E3 discussion, which is going to be pretty chunky, as it always
Chunky.
is. So of course E3 is one of the most exciting things of the year in our gaming community, if not the most exciting thing. Definitely one of the biggest events we have to look forward to.
It was
Um,
huge.
it's always huge.
Did you see the Fortnite section at E3 though? By the way.
No, because I
Oh
can't
my
give
god, it was
access.
massive. Honestly, it was like the size of Nintendo's whole booth. It was ridiculous.
God damn.
Yeah, it was massive.
Um,
Anyway,
anyway, admittedly, I think the C3 well, like, of course, Sony didn't have theirs, which is fine because if they didn't have anything to show off, then I don't want them having a conference for the sake of having a conference.
Avengers looked
Um,
good though.
that's not Sony though. That was Square.
It's coming to
Um,
PS4 exclusive, so
no, it's not exclusive. It's
I
coming
thought
to
it
Xbox
was.
One. No.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, so Sony didn't have that A conference this year. EA didn't, but that's not a big loss because they still had an EA Play live stream anyway
The
when they
Star
showed.
Wars game looked good.
Yeah. But
That's all I
even
can say about that.
yeah. But judging by reactions online, it seems like the biggest reactions was a celebrity in a cyberpunk game, a really cute developer showing off a
Keanu
game.
Reeves.
Okay,
Keanu
no,
Reeves.
and then a dog at the Ubisoft conference. Those seem to be like
Yes,
outside of
yes, the dog
Nintendo.
was amazing.
The
The dog was the best bit of E3 entirely.
but it's like I don't know. I feel like before Nintendo's and Square's even, I feel it kind of sucks that the like as funny as they were and as cool as they were. I feel like it kind of sucks that I didn't really see many people excited about the games.
Hmm,
Like the
I
games are
agree.
good. Like Xbox's conferences. Xbox's was okay. Like it was good. But I don't think it was as good as last year's. Like last year's had I remember being excited about Jump Force as shit as that turned out to be.
I
But
mean,
remember Xbox also had Devil May Cry 5, which was like
yeah,
whoa.
that was a big surprise. To
Oh
be fair,
yeah, and they had some nice surprises this year as well. Like they showed off Fantasy Star Online 2, which is
yeah, that
apparently
was a huge shout for
great.
them. To be fair, I think that was
Um,
great to see that coming.
mm, which Phil Spencer has confirmed that it's coming to PS4 and Switch in the future.
Cool.
Um, and of course we got like our first info of Scarlet, which is the next Xbox, but it's like Uh,
Have a new Halo game as well.
yeah. So that's probably coming out next year. We'll get more info. But for
I did
now,
like the Forza
oh
update as well
yeah.
with the whole Lego update. That
Mm.
was so cool. But
That
I
was
haven't.
pretty neat.
I mean, I'm gonna
Um,
buy it. It was
yeah.
cool.
But it's like I don't know. And then Bethesda was too late for me to stay up, so I didn't bother about Bethesda. But it seemed like it was
Bethesda's was
okay.
okay. There
Yeah.
wasn't too much announced that wasn't already known about, but there was a
Mm.
lot more gameplay shown in that show off of theirs.
Doom
So
Eternal looks good.
Doom Eternal looks good.
Yeah.
There's also a couple of mobile games that are getting ports to the Switch as well.
Hmm.
So with Elder Scrolls Blades. So it looks okay. Nothing
Yeah.
really amazing, but
Um, and the new Ubisoft was like very mediocre. Like Watch Dogs 3 Legion looks
Watch
cool.
Dogs looks interesting.
Mm.
But I don't want to be burnt on that game like the previous two because
Okay.
they looked really great in design in the trailers, but then the actual game come out and it wasn't so great.
Mm.
So I'm going to wait and see on that game. But from
Mm.
what I've seen so far, it looked very good and very interesting mechanics. So yeah,
Mm. And then the next big one was Squares, which Squares I was happy with because we got even though they showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC later on, that's still Square content, and I think I'm really excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Showed off a lot of
Final
like
Fantasy
neat
7, of course.
Final Fantasy 7 remake actually looks godlike. I'm really interested as a newcomer to Final Fantasy 7, having never played the
Yeah.
original. I'm really intrigued to like experience it this way.
Yes, yes, I
Um,
understand that.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I was trying to say to you before we started on the podcast, it was just like I like the idea of it, but I also don't like to be removed from the nostalgia of the original game. So
hmm.
I'm a little bit in the middle at the moment. Whether I'm definitely going to pick it up, but I'm just like, I hope it's a good game. I really hope it's a good
I
game.
mean, like it got like I feel that was the first game, like at least on my timeline, that got people excited about a game and not a
Yeah,
celebrity or an animal. You know, um, because it's like,
it's funny
oh
because it's true.
man, it looks gorgeous. Like to be honest, if there was one reason I had to get a PS4 Pro, it would be to just so I could get the full experience from this game because it looks gorgeous.
And
Um,
Avengers and Spider-Man and Iron Man, of course. But yeah,
not so. Iron Man's a VR game though. I can't really give much of a
yeah.
toss about VR, but like,
Oh, just talking quickly about VR games. Five Nights at Freddy VR. That was the scariest game I think I've ever seen. So, but yeah,
um, yeah, it's like so Squares was good. The only thing that ruined it, in my opinion, was Avengers, which was like very it just doesn't look the best, in my opinion.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I tried to speak a few times about the Avengers game because it's more based on like the story in the comic books rather than like the
oh
films.
no, like
I think they're trying to mesh them together, kind of thing.
that's not my problem. I just like, well, I just haven't seen gameplay from it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's true.
and looks wise, it just doesn't really seem that interesting,
But
admittedly.
what you got to think about with this game is it's the start of building a video game universe for Marvel in a way because it's like they can go on and make whatever game they want from this now. They could add whatever Avengers they want, new characters. They've
Oh,
already mentioned
you're talking about
Hawkeye.
games as a service? Yeah.
I mean, just like if this game does well as well as Spider-Man did, I think you could see lots of spin-offs and extra characters in future games and things. I think this is just the start for that
Well,
sort
like
of start.
the thing with this is like, so this is it is it's following Splatoon in the sense because we are gonna get free new characters.
Yeah.
We're gonna get free content. No, no microtransactions or no loot boxes. That got a big applause,
Whee! Whee!
which we shouldn't be applauding because that shouldn't be there in the first place. But
Yes, this is true.
is I guess it's a promise that I hopefully they continue. But yeah, like I guess it's just a first look. Um,
Yeah.
but
I'm
yeah,
okay with it. I'm not too sure about Thor's voice, but other than that, yeah,
other
looks
than
good.
that, and then fucking Nintendo's E3, it was their time to blow everything else out of the water. Everyone's kind of like feeling meh about the E3 in general, and Nintendo fucking delivered. Like Christ.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
couple of big announcements, weren't there? So
yes. So that's what we're going to talk about
right
today.
now,
So in only about 40 minutes, there's so much content in here, which I was looking forward to because on like previous years, they didn't say or they didn't have a game that they were gonna focus on.
yeah,
So like last year's was Smash Brothers, the year before was Mario Odyssey, and of course in 2016 it was Zelda. But like especially in comparison to last year, where like a lot of the show was taken up by just Smash Brothers, this year
yeah,
had a healthy balance between updates on new games and new surprises. And like
and
there were
lots
of
of
course like
indies.
yeah, of course there were like more updates on already announced games compared to completely new announcements. But the
Hmm?
completely new announcements were like pretty crazy, I feel. So
I think like the games that were already announced, there was a lot of updates and videos on this direct as well.
mm,
In terms of like Demo Machina and things like that, it's there was
Demon
things
X
that we knew.
Machina,
That's what I
I
meant.
think
Yeah.
so.
Um, yeah. But there was like updates to things we already knew about and just like more details being shown in this direct as well. But yeah, I
Right.
think the first. Do you want to go for the first thing
I
first?
I want
Cool.
to mention Super Mario Maker 2 first,
Oh,
because that was not shown off properly in the direct, which is fair enough because that's coming out in only 2 weeks, roughly. No,
oh,
no, less than two
end of the
weeks
month,
now.
isn't it?
Less than two
End of the
weeks
month, I
now.
think.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
less than 2 weeks, which is weird to think about, but here we are. So in May they had a big Mario Maker 2 direct, showed off a bunch of new cool features coming to the game. And that completely ruined all excitement by when the news came out that online multiplayer won't be compatible with friends, so you can't join up with friends to
Yes.
play online. However, during the Treehouse Live, I believe it was Mr. Tezuka, who may be the
Yeah.
producer on the game, I'm not too sure, but he confirmed that they are working on being able to do that. So they are working on the ability to play with friends online,
Online
which
online mode. Yeah.
I fucking called, by the way. So I'm chuffed by that by itself, but of course,
I must. I mean, I did say exactly the same. That just be patient and wait for patches, and they might announce more in the
mm,
future. But the problem is Nintendo's been hit and miss with their online in the last few games, and it's
the
like,
last few years, more like,
yeah, well, maybe longer than that if you can argue. But when you've done so well with games like Mario Kart and Splatoon, and then you get games where you can't even play with your friends, you can only play with random people, or like Pokemon Go's, like the trading system's really odd. There's no
yeah,
friend. You can't just like link up with your friends and trade with them.
you have to put in a code,
Ugh.
right?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, no,
picture
you
code
could
kind of
just get
thing.
matched with another random person.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just things like that. It's like they do so well, and then they do like the co-op sort of aspect of being able to just jump in whenever you want. That was added a lot more in this direct as well. The games like Pokemon where you can literally just do that. It works, but then not everyone can play with people like that on the sofa all the time. You know, it's like you need people online as well, and
Hmm.
if they can sort that service out, more people will be more willing to pay money for it. So,
Yeah,
you know, getting like 50 NES games is great and all, but it's not really what everyone wants, is it?
no.
So
People are just
it's just
like, yeah. Regardless, I think Mario Maker 2 still looks pretty good. A
it's good. It's
a
good
grand
they
improvement.
changed it and added it. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
I am wondering what else they've added to the game because I'm sure there are still surprises left. Um,
There's no mention on amiibos yet, though, is there?
um, they're not coming back.
No,
No.
this is it's a little
Uh,
bit disappointing because it was such a big thing in the first game, and
hmm.
it was quite fun unlocking those characters and things as you go through. But
Yeah,
maybe
like
there'll be something similar in the game. I don't know,
I'm
but
hoping, but like the other thing as well is like with the original, they had just like really weird collaborative costumes. So like
yes,
you'd
they did.
complete a stage and you get a costume. So like one of the the weirdest ones on the top of my head was this character from a rom-com anime series from Nisekoi, which is so
Yeah.
bizarre because it's not even like Goku or anything. It's from a
There's no
fucking rom-com anime, like one of the more
there's no
famous ones.
references as far as we know. Is like I've never known anything of it, kind of thing.
Mm.
It's a very
Um,
obscure one.
but that's what I kind of loved about it though. It was just really bizarre, and that's what
It doesn't mean they won't do that in the future, though. There might
I'm
be some more
I'm
updates
hoping.
like
But like I believe they have confirmed. I don't think officially, but maybe unofficially,
that. Okay.
that amoeba costumes aren't returning.
Ah, that's a pity.
Hmm.
Never mind.
Never mind. Um,
There was lots else announced, though, wasn't there?
there was. So let's just get into it. Starting us off, we have a new Super Smash Bros. Character, and
Ooh, who is it? Who is it?
it is the hero. Lovely
Oh.
name. But this is the but the one
That was my
introduced
literal reaction. I was like, oh.
the one introduced to us was the Luminary, who's the protagonist of Dragon Quest XI.
Yes.
And so this is our Dragon Quest rep in Super Smash Bros.
Yep. Okay.
I don't think
It's
anybody
fine.
was shocked by this.
No.
But in a way, I kind of am. So let's talk about the character first. So
Dragon Quest 11.
yes, it
That's coming
looks
to Switch as
it
well.
is. So
So,
I believe this is kind of like a collaborative effort. Like, okay, we want to push Dragon Quest more in the West. We want to push that Dragon Quest 11S is going to be the version to get for this game. Let's put it in Smash to drive more
I mean,
sales.
it worked with Fire Emblem, so
It did,
why
yeah.
not?
So I
I
think
suppose.
a similar mindset may have been applied to the hero here.
Especially Dragon Quest
Um,
11 being an exclusive to the Switch as well.
no, not
It does
really.
make
The This edition, Dragon Quest 11S, is exclusive.
yeah, right.
But the game itself, the base game wasn't because it
Oh, okay.
released originally in PS4 last year, um,
Oh,
and
okay.
last year on the 3DS as well. But Dragon Quest 11S contains a bunch of new content different from the PS4 version, in addition to the retro-inspired top-down view from the 3DS game, which is quite a nice touch.
Oh,
So
interesting.
us in the West have a chance to experience the 3DS content from that game.
Cool.
Anyway, we're going to talk about that in a bit. But for now, Dragon Quest XI and Smash, it's weird because the whole speculation of Dragon Quest stuff being in Smash, I feel properly kicked off from a leak around the time Joker was revealed. And this leak stated that Erdrick was going to be in Smash, that they'd have this iconic slime enemy appear on screen with an attack of its own, and it's going to have a female
Yeah,
um,
I was unsure
transfer.
whether that would be
But
an item or not, kind of thing. I don't
that
know how that will
that
work.
leak was already debunked with the release of Joker, and I want to talk about Joker in a bit. What's it? Yeah, so that leak was already debunked because of Joker. The leak stated that Jack Frost, who's sort of the mascot for Atlas, would appear in the game, but Jack Frost is nowhere to be found. So that initial
Oh,
leak was already debunked. But it's just weird that like people were still thinking about and speculating Dragon Quest content in Smash, and because of that, I was like, nah, I think it's too obvious of a choice. I think they're just gonna go
mm.
all out, like doing really
But
crazy stuff.
but
Um,
Dragon Quest is huge in
yeah,
Japan, isn't it? I mean,
it's
I've never really played any of the games, I must admit, and I don't know much of the series, but I know that Japan loves Dragon Quest, and
mm,
it's always been a top seller over there.
oh yeah. See that's why I am ultimately happy. Like before, I think I've expressed a bit of like sour mood towards a Dragon Quest hero getting in. In fact, I
Mm,
am happy it's the Dragon Quest XI hero getting in as the
right,
default one. Um,
but that's not
but
all.
yeah, that's not all. No, so you're able to play with the protagonist of three other Dragon Quest games. You're able to play as the protagonist of from Dragon Quest 4, the protagonist of Dragon Quest 8, which was the most popular Dragon Quest in the West,
Okay,
in addition to the protagonist of Dragon Quest 3, who is Erdrick. Erdrick was the one everyone's speculating. Everyone was thinking it was the Dragon Quest 3 hero. He is
right,
in,
okay.
but not as the default hero. Um, and Dragon Quest 3 is sort of like the the most popular one in Japan, I believe. That's the one that
Okay.
introduced the class system, right?
And the new one as well. So there's
Uh,
four effectively we know of that
that's
you
that's
can.
all there is. So you could pick
So
between those four.
so this is what confused me because they showed their final Smash attack as well, and it had
And
some
that's,
other characters
I
involved.
believe that's all the other protagonists. I think it's sort of like
Right?
Mega Man's Final Smash. When Mega Man
Yeah,
gets in
that kind
the
of way.
other Mega Men, this Final Smash calls back
And
to
Bass and
Proto Man.
Proto Man. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas this Final Smash calls back to other classic not Fire Emblem, Dragon Quest heroes. The other cool thing with um, the hero is that it has an MP system, which is completely new to Smash Bros. Fighters, and with that, they can cast a lot more special moves than any other fighter.
Yeah. This was an
So
interesting
in the
thing,
general
wasn't it?
gameplay, towards the beginning of the trailer, we saw basic moves like a fire and thunder spell and a wind spell to recover. However, later on, we see the heroes utilizing an MP system to bring out a variety of attacks. So the first one shown off was a snooze ability, which just
Hmm.
s- ah lost
Sends
that
them to
thought.
sleep basically
That's
when
it.
you
I was trying
throw
to
the
yeah try to throw an orb. Another one I think it's like Keklang or something that turns you completely
right.
metal. Another one is Zoom, which seems to be another a recovery type move. One is called Kamikaze, which take
Yes, I
that
saw that.
take the name as you will, but that is a self-destruct move, which
Oh,
I don't believe anyone has ever done in Smash before. So it's like
do
you're sacrificing a life just to take down another fighter, which
do
I
we
think is
know
pretty
what
cool.
buttons are assigned for each of the moves yet,
No,
Matt? I don't know.
so we don't know because when we saw them choosing from options in the menu and on the character's portrait, we only saw four options um,
Hmm.
there initially, in addition to the MP bar.
Yeah.
So we don't know if there's, well, we assume there's going to be multiple menus, but we just don't know what
I'm more
exactly.
curious, like if it's just the B button, is that what Kirby gets as well for his like if he's when he
Hmm,
duplicates them kind of thing? I'm
possibly.
just, yeah,
I think
not
that
sure.
would lead to like a much more interesting. Because I was thinking it'd be either like down B or just neutral B, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, um,
But that's coming summer this year
summer
apparently. So
2019.
don't know when that is. If that's like normally it's around August sort of time for Nintendo, isn't
I'm
it?
thinking late June to mid July. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Very excited to see.
cool. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people would be happy with that, I'm
Hmm,
sure. Like I said, I don't really know Dragon Quest at all, but the character designs were intriguing to me, and that made me interested to see what could happen with those characters.
hmm.
So yeah, interesting.
I'm going to
Uh,
talk about Joker when we reach Banjo Kazooie. Spoilers for later on, by the way, guys.
oh, you spoiled it already.
Moving on. Speaking of Dragon Quest, we have Dragon Quest 11. Echoes of an Elusive Age, I believe it is.
Okay.
Um,
So I didn't realise it was a separate version though. I thought it was the same. I thought it was the only version, but apparently not. So
no. Yeah, so it's
okay.
Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age. This released back in 2017 in
Oh
Japan,
right, okay.
July 29th. But
So it's been out a
only
while then, really.
hmm,
So,
well in Japan, but for us in the West, it only launched last year in September.
ah,
But it will be launching worldwide on the Nintendo Switch September 27th. So basically, this is pretty much the PS4 version, but of course now you could take it on the go. Aside from that, though, it brings a ton of new features compared to the PS4 game. For example, a bunch of quality life improvements, in addition to a completely orchestral soundtrack, which the PS4 version didn't have. So for the music fans, like our good friend Stokesy, is
yeah,
definitely
Richard.
a big plus. Um, what else? But yeah, it just seems to truly be the definitive edition of Dragon Quest XI. As mentioned before, it also has the a 2D mode, which calls back to the
Yeah,
classic Dragon
it's
Quest
kind of
games.
like the classic SNES sort of style,
Mm.
and for like a top-down view, which is kind of intriguing that you
Mm.
could literally swap modes over. That was something different.
Um, and so that game launches on September 27th, which is only a week after my birthday. So I'll definitely be
Ah,
picking that up.
nice.
Um, what have we got next? Jack, would you like to talk about this?
Oh, yes, I would. So this is the introduction to Doug Bowser, who's the new Nintendo of America president, I guess is the best way to describe that. Um,
Hmm.
there was a nice little cutscene with Bowser, who just sort of just turned up with, which is Yoshiaki. Is that his best name?
Um,
No, I don't know.
I believe it's
You
Yoshiaki
that's
Koizumi.
it. You can
Yes.
pronounce it. There we go. So, um, basically, Bowser sort of turned up and with his nice tie on, ready to announce the next game. He was about to click for the Switch click. I was like, oh my god, that's so good. And then Doug Bowser just comes in and says, "No, not you. Get out of here. You know, you're not the Bowser that everyone needs." But yeah, seeing Bowser in a tie, it looked like he stole it off of DK. It was literally just a red tie. Um, but then the aftermath of him leaving and then Yoshiaki asking if he was related. So they could be the same family, I guess. They got the same surname. So, but
Um,
yeah, it was quite a fun little introduction to
and
Doug
an
Bowser
interesting
coming
tidbit
in.
because that did seem to go on a bit too long for me. However, in the Japanese audience, they wouldn't have got this reference so easily because over there, they may have not known Doug Bowser because, of course, it's Nintendo of
King Koopa.
America. Yes, of course, because Bowser's called Koopa over there. So they actually had a bit of an infographic during their presentation for the Japanese audience, explaining the joke
Yeah,
that
that
because
Bowser's actual
because
name.
Nintendo
Yeah.
America shares the same name as Bowser.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty neat that they had to that they
They
explained
had to
that.
make a reference to
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I
Um.
guess some of them probably wouldn't know that though, so
Hmm.
that's good they've done.
But it's like I don't know. I think that was kind of funny, and I do like that Doug Bowser has made a formal appearance in a direct. Taking
Yeah.
on Reggie's role quite well. He seems like a nice dude.
Yeah, he
Um.
seems to have done well so far. So
And of course we'll get into this during one of the later games, but it seems like he
just
really does respect the games industry. And
just to mention it, Doug Bowser was on the E3 show floor at Nintendo quite a lot, and he did speak to a lot of fans, and he freely gave out signatures and talks and things. So really good to see that there's someone so interactive with the audience
mm,
already on there. And he also has his own Twitter account as well, which is different to Reggie, who only set up one after leaving Nintendo. So yeah, but he's looking good so far. But if you want action RPG or something new, we got you covered, apparently. So yeah, something new
speaking of
like
something new,
Luigi's Mansion 3.
I am impressed with this actually. I am very impressed. Like I did enjoy Luigi's Mansion 2, and when I saw Luigi's Mansion 3, I was like, okay, cool beans. But I wasn't really getting anything from it.
Yeah,
But
Luigi's Mansion 1 is probably one of my favorite GameCube
mm,
games, other than maybe Wind Waker. So yeah, I've never played the second one, no, which is really strange. But yeah, this looks really good so far. I'm loving the sort of story aspect of it. That Mario,
mm,
Peach, and the Toads are all visiting a hotel for some reason, which
yes.
sort of worries you straight away. That says like Hotel Mario sort of entity coming in there somewhere. Like, oh, soda panic. But yeah,
um,
it's shaping up pretty good so far. Luigi's got a new poltergust vacuum cleaner,
the G00,
uh, G00,
which
and it's got some extra abilities to it, like a
mhm,
slam attack, which you basically suck up the ghost and you can slam them over your back, basically, so
mm,
slam them behind you. Um, and then that also has like a plunger suction ability to go with it, so
mm.
you can put a plunger on certain items and do the slam attack to remove that item off the world. So it might lead to the secret area or to the next part of the level, things like that. That's good couple of little extras there.
Mm.
There's also a burst attack which has been added for like when groups or hordes of ghosts come after you. You can use that burst attack to just sort of attack them all at once.
As well
So
as
that's
just jumping up in the air, which could lead
yeah,
to some neat moments.
Yes,
in the
definitely.
world.
Yeah, you could jump over
Um,
the rug was one of the things they
I'm
showed, wasn't it? So
I'm really liking Luigi's moveset here. I was listening to Arlo's video on Luigi's Mansion, and he does make a great point at how versatile Luigi's moveset seems to be in this game.
yeah,
I think that's gonna be a lot of fun in general.
cool.
Like nothing, like everything makes sense, right? That was
Mm.
Arlo's point, and like everything feels natural. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Um,
Just curious, Matt. Did Egad was Egad in Luigi's Mansion 2?
oh yeah. So
Yeah, he was
Egad
in
has
it.
been in every Luigi's Mansion.
Okay,
Um,
but he returned to this one. They showed him in a nice HD looking Egad, which was cool. Um, and he's now got a new invention that he's made called Guigi, which is
which
basically a Luigi made of goo, I
so
guess.
the curious thing with this was so Luigi was a part of the 3DS port of Luigi's Mansion. That was
Okay,
used for co-op stuff. However, they added some lore to um to it through the Twitter pages and stuff like that. So I think some people are like theorizing that that may have an important part to play in Luigi's Mansion
right.
3, and it's quite interesting to see that actually panned out.
So what you're
Um,
saying is I need to go back and play Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS right now.
no, because you don't need to suffer.
Oh, okay. Is it?
um, yeah, so the thing with
It
Luigi is that it functions as a second Luigi, but he could do some things that normal Luigi can't. So he could go through grates like a squid in
yeah.
Splatoon, but he
You can go over
can't go through.
spikes as well, can't you?
Yeah, but he can't interact with water because he'd just get like flushed out. My
Yeah,
my fear with Luigi though is I worry if it's just going to be cumbersome to use in a single player setting.
yeah, I get
Like
what you mean with
because
that.
it's like I don't get why I need to use. I'm sure in the early stage of the games it will be annoying, but that's just to teach the player what they can do.
Yeah,
But I'm hoping for some more interactive puzzles where I actually need to use it and not just a thing like, yeah, you need to transform just so you get to this button where you could have
yeah.
gotten to if we just didn't have this one obstacle in your way, you know.
It kind of
Um,
reminds me of going well back here, Banjo Tooie's like split up sort of ability, where
okay,
you had to jump on go onto a banjo pad and use it to split both the characters up, but
okay.
you could only control one character at a time,
Mm,
and you had to sort of switch at each point, kind of thing, to in certain locations. So I'm just wondering whether that mechanic that you can switch at any point will be used in some of the mechanics in some of the puzzles to solve. So that might be a more interesting way to look at it. I mean, it's not like they haven't done it before. There are other games like Majora's Mask is probably one I can think of on top of my head. That there was some puzzles like that where you had to sort of use switching character mechanics and things. But
no, but like I feel. Wait, was it like actual characters or was it just masks? Like,
characters, because you had Link and you had Keefy. You had it in the stone tower area. You had to get an extra mask for doing something with them too. There was switching characters and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's not.
huh.
I think if two-player co-op mode's there, it's a good idea
Oh
and
yeah,
it
like
works.
that's what I'm thankful. Like that you can just do two-player co-op. I think that would like
And like I
be very
mentioned
nice.
with Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu, it's one of those extras you can just jump the player in willy nilly whenever you need to, kind of
Mm.
thing. And like if you are playing couch play and someone comes in and wants to play with you, you can just jump on straight away without even have to worry about it. Just grab the other controller. There. So it's I like that there's more games doing that. With another game announced in Animal Crossing, they're doing that same sort of thing as well. But it's interesting they're going so more into the co-op couch play now, and we're thinking more. Can we have two players in this one player game? In effect,
Mm.
so it's a good move. But there's also a further move with having the scare scraper mode. Did you see much
Yes.
of this?
So this is basically the multiplayer mode from Luigi's Mansion 2, it seems.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't
with
really
eight
say much about that.
players, 8-player local and online gameplay available as well. Effectively, it's just a Toad hide and seek game with like fighting ghosts and stuff as well. I just can't quite work out whether you're supposed to do it as a group together or if you can do it competitively. That's the only thing I weren't too sure about. There wasn't too much explanation of that. But yeah, that'd be an interesting mode anyway. I think on the Switch, be another online game. I'm happy with that. I did see that King Boo is back. He's in
Yes.
the trailer.
Um,
There are some other ghostly creatures like a knight as well that was in the trailer.
yes. So I believe the developers of the game, I believe Next Level Games, are developing this one, like they did with the second
Okay.
game. I think
Cool.
they did confirm that they were listening to feedback on forums and stuff. So one feature they liked about the original game that wasn't present in the second game were portrait ghosts. So
Mm.
whilst you aren't capturing them in portraits, you are gonna encounter more characterized ghosts. So we
Oh,
saw the night
okay.
one you mentioned, and there's another that seems to be a policeman kind of dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't
Um,
see that. Okay.
hmm. I'm sure there was
I did
others
like the
as well.
portrait ghosts. I did like
Yeah.
the portrait ghosts in the original. I
Um,
must admit, it like that sort of format and the fact you had to try and gather all their orbs to get
hmm.
the gold frames as well.
Hmm.
There's an extra challenge kind of thing. That was always really difficult in that game to do that.
Um, another thing as well. I don't know. I'm really liking the hotel setting. I'm liking that it's the one big structure like the original game, but it
Yeah.
allows for a lot more diversity um, and unique
Well, there's
environments all
you
together
can
throughout the
just go
game.
up. You can go up more levels and things like that
Hmm.
because you could have this hotel as big as you want, can you? Effectively, and it does explain it a bit better than having one massive mansion or just like multiple mansions like the second
Hmm.
game does. So I think just having all one building but in a different sort of area and elevators used and
Hmm.
things like that, I think it will work a little bit better. I think personally.
Hmm. Um, the weirdest thing about this too is that we don't have a release date. We don't have a firmer release date than the last time. It's still
Says
just 2019.
yeah, 2019, but the same
Um,
thing happened with Animal Crossing, so nothing's
no,
confirmed
but
yet.
like, no, but Animal Crossing, we still have a date.
We update now, but
Yes,
originally it was
but
available
yeah,
2019 as
but
well,
like
wasn't it? So,
we haven't heard about this game for so long. They say it's still coming out in 2019, but we don't have a firm release date, which is
no.
weird.
You would have thought October, wouldn't you? In theory, of
Yeah,
like being Halloween sort of
like
theory, but
spooky.
maybe
Um,
they don't know whether they'll be able to push it that for Halloween yet. Maybe that's the reason why it says
hmm.
2019, but we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, so that's Luigi Mansion 3. I'm interested in getting it. I'm not crazy about it yet, but I would like to play it, admittedly. Be quite interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll give it a go.
Um, next one. Definitely one of the weirdest ones. Definitely one of the weirder
Yeah,
announcements to come out. This is gonna be tie-in with Netflix's new movie. Jim Henson's Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance Tactics. What the hell of
yeah,
a fucking title. But basically,
yeah.
so
So
I
take Tactics off is the film name. So just Dark Crystal Age of Resistance is the film name on Netflix, and they've
they've
just
added
added tactics to
tactics.
make it sound like a game. So
Yeah. Yes, I believe the actual film is either a remake or a retelling of the original Dark Crystal film.
yes, there
Um,
was a film. I've not
yeah,
heard much about this. I don't know. I don't
no.
think I've ever seen it.
Um,
I know Flat Cap Gary Gray was very adamant he wanted
hmm,
to get this, and he loved the original
yeah.
film. So
Um,
okay, fair enough.
so it seems like this is a strategy game using the characters, but
It's
I'm
it's
gonna be flat
it's
out honest
The
here.
Muppets meets Fire Emblem, basically, isn't it?
Um, yes, but also no, because Muppets and Fire Emblem are actually good series. This game doesn't look so hot. It just looks kind of mediocre. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
There's a problem with these adaptations from films and Netflix films
I
and
know,
stuff.
but it's just like it was just a weird thing to pop up, right? Like, not a weird thing for it to exist, but a weird thing to pop up during an E3 direct. I don't know. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the Muppets, and I kind of like that. I was looking at the trailer and looking at the movements of the puppets, and I kind of liked it. And I
Yeah,
watched the trailer as
it, it
well.
it kind of
Um,
reminds me a little bit of like Labyrinth, like with another sort of Jim Henson
okay.
sort of base film, and I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of that film, so I don't know whether I like this or not. But
Mm,
it's one of those. It's a tie-in game. I don't think it's
mm.
going to be that great, if I'm honest.
Nah, but like that's I think Stranger Things won't the Stranger Things game won't be that good either. In all honesty,
I'm worried
um,
about that because I really like Stranger Things, and I
mm,
just like it's. I don't know if the game's going to be
um,
any good at all.
I don't care that much about Stranger Things, so I could just say yeah, fuck
but
that.
but I have heard that is going to tie in somewhere with the new
Mm,
series, which comes out in July. So I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, might need to play it anyway.
Moving on then, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna be flat out honest here. I'm not sure I could give much of a toss about this. Right, so
Ah,
let,
I
let,
wasn't
let,
so I was
let's
surprised
let's
about that.
dissect. It looks charming. I'm liking the art style. Um,
Chibi Link saves the
I
world.
know. So it looks cool. Um, but it seems like the only new thing was creating dungeons, and even then, it's not actually creating dungeons. It's just like reusing assets from other dungeons and
Yeah.
mix and matching. Um, Whatever. I admittedly I do need to see gameplay, but from this E3 trailer, I didn't get why I have to get this game. I only got like, oh, this is our
I
brand
thought
new
it.
feature, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
I thought it
I don't
looked better
know.
than the first trailer I saw, if I'm honest.
Um, I would say I'd like to get a discount, but knowing how Switch games are, that will never happen.
It's already been
Um,
announced as being the same price as Breath of the Wild.
what? No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, apparently so. And
No,
that puts me off
it
straight
surely it
away.
should be
I'm like,
like 40 quid for us, right?
it's going to be like 50, 60 quid. Yeah, apparently.
No, not no, like 60. We never get games at 60 quid on here.
Mm,
Like even Link's Awakening wasn't 60 quid. Like $60, like in America, that's quite something. And maybe on
mm.
the Nintendo UK store. Let me check.
Let me have a look. Yeah, go have a check, and I'll talk through what I think about it.
Yeah.
Because I like the like cute art style of it, and it does sort of go back to the original game, and in a way, but with its own unique sort of look to it, kind of thing. But it's the whole classic dungeon crawling from the 2D perspective Zeldas, which has never been my favourite. But this
Hmm.
does look sort of cutesy, and it does sort of reward the players just by looking at it, kind of thing. It looks a beautiful game, and it looks easy to play.
Hmm.
But what you mentioned with the custom dungeon making thing, I get what you mean. It's like a little bit
Hmm.
limited what you can do with it, but it's the fact you get extra items for doing that mode, like fairy bottles and things like that. Maybe there'll be something extra to unlock and extra things you could build within that world. I don't know. It does. There wasn't much shown about it other than Dampe from Ocarina of Time, the graveyard yard keeper. He was for some reason looking after the whole dungeon bit. Didn't really make much sense, but it looks fun. I don't think it's like it's unique in its style. I think is the best way I can sort of describe it. But
Hmm.
I again, I'm not a big one on the 2D Zelda games, so I probably won't pick it up. But if it's a decent priced one, at the moment, if it's 40, 50 quid, I probably won't buy it. But if it goes down to about 25, 30, maybe I'll have a look,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's my problem. It's like I feel like if they did the same thing, if they had did that and maybe Link's Awakening, no, Link to the Past
Yeah.
as a double pack, I think that would have
As a
been
double
way
pack,
more
yeah, that'd
worth
make more
it.
sense. Yeah.
Um, but it's like, yeah, that's my problem. It's like I'm not. I think it is. It will be a good game. It will be a nice game, but I'm not getting the sense that this is a proper full-fledged title yet.
Yeah.
I
How
do
much
need to see gameplay.
gameplay? How
Like
much actual gameplay is in this game is the question as well, isn't it?
like
It's like,
if I got it, then yeah, I'd enjoy myself because I mean it's Zelda. I do like Zelda. But yeah, anyway, it's coming out on September 20th, 2019, which is only a day before my birthday. So
you're doing
one
all right
day
there, aren't
off,
you?
one day off, sadly. But that's close enough. I'll take that. I'll take that. Um, Next up is Trials of Mana from Square Enix, and I believe this is um, a remake of something. I can't remember too clearly, but I believe
I
this
think
is
it's a
Secret of
new
Mana.
one in the Mana series. I'm not really that sure of it, if I'm honest. It's
Um,
yeah, it looks quite kind of nice, and um, in terms of actual artwork and art style, it's very like cartoony anime-ish style. But
hmm,
yeah, again, it's another series I've never really looked at. I mean, it's the Mana series was sort of like you choose Mana or you choose Chrono Trigger or you choose Final Fantasy, and it's like I never went into the Mana series. I'd always played like Final Fantasy and
yeah,
Chrono Trigger, so I sort of kind of missed Mana completely. But I do believe Secret of Mana is available on the SNES mini console, I
could
believe.
be. I'm not too sure.
So that's cool. If like, I might just pick up and try that before maybe trying Trials of Mana. I don't know, but if not, there's also a whole collection of the previous Mana titles that have come out on a big collection of Mana, which is available now, I
Hmm,
believe. So maybe we can give that a go before trying Trials of Mana. So you
maybe.
never know.
Um, Next up, is The Witcher: The Wild Hunt. Um, Wait, no, The Witcher 3, right?
Yes, it Witcher Free Wild Hunt. Yeah,
Yeah. Apologies for messing up the title there.
that was me. That was
Yeah.
me. My bad. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yes, this is coming to Nintendo Switch. Um, all compressed on a single cartridge. You don't have to have any extra downloads. It's all
hmm
there in one cartridge. There you go.
There's been it appears to have been a graphical downgrade on it,
I mean, like,
but
that's a given, right?
it's a more
Um,
cartoony style as well.
really?
So they changed the style of it compared to the previous game on the PS4. So it's intriguing.
Uh, I
Uh,
didn't see anything about that. I thought it still looked like the same,
yeah,
just like less
from what
resolution.
they've shown of it, it does look different. But at the
Okay.
same time, I'm going to give it a go. I think I've never played it, so I might have a look. But yeah, it's huge news to having that such a big studio in terms of recent games coming to the Switch as well. Especially when they've got they're working on Cyberpunk as well.
Hmm.
So there's always the chance that you might get a game like that coming to the Switch in the future, maybe. But it's a good announcement to have about
Hmm.
Witcher 3 on there,
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
I'm
it's definitely
huge.
like such a critically acclaimed game, and it's just so good to
It
have
got a
it on
lot
the
of
go now.
praise.
Yes.
Yeah, it got a lot of praise when it first came
Yeah.
out, and rightly so. To be fair,
Um, Next up though, the GOAT. It is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
such a goat. They didn't show any gameplay.
I'm fine with that because we got it in the well, we got gameplay in the treehouse, and it's only a month out anyway. Um, so I'm like, I don't need gameplay right now. In addition, over the past couple of weeks, they have been showing off new gameplay mechanics and such in Famitsu. So that's how we've been getting our info. I think an official thing would be nice, but again, I'm glad we didn't get a hefty amount in this E3 Direct. As much as I'm looking forward to Free Houses, I'm glad it didn't take up too much time because I would have been upset as well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so this was bizarre to watch. So judging from this story-based trailer, it seems we're gonna have a time skip of about 5 years.
Okay.
And so one of the characters, Eldegard, who's the cute blonde girl in red, she's a queen now, it seems. Claude, the yellow archer dude, seems to have gotten hotter, and then the Dimitri in the blue has just fucking lost an eye, it seems,
So
and has just gone
so this is
mental.
go with me here, Matt. So this is continuation from a different Fire Emblem game, or is
No,
this
this is
no?
this is its whole new thing, right?
Right,
So it's not continuing on from everything.
right.
It's just surprising because I wasn't expecting there to be a story element like this, and I think it's
Hmm.
really interesting to see something like this. Um,
Okay.
because we have there haven't been many games where it's been a direct continue. Like we've had related games, like Echoes is kind of related to the first game in the series, because they take place in the same world, I believe.
Right.
And Radiant Dawn was the sequel to Path of Radiance, or the other way around. Those were the games starring Ike. The Three Houses is completely new.
Okay.
And it's not being sold in three separate versions like it is with like what Fates
So
had.
this is
Um,
just one game
just one
then,
game.
or right? Okay.
Um, oh man, I'm just so looking forward to it. Yeah, I think the story is going to be far more interesting than Fates. I'm interested to see the gameplay. Amiibo content is being supported. I think that's been confirmed because you saw there's a place called the Amiibo Gazebo, which is
Okay.
such
What
a
a
joy to
name.
say. Yeah. Um, oh man, I'm just honestly, this could end up being my game of the year. Honestly, it's looking pretty hype, like pretty stuff with content.
I don't
Um,
think it's going to be my game of the year.
no shit.
Just just saying.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to drag on too long, but yeah, the E3 trailer was good. I'm glad it wasn't too long because I think people would have been annoyed, and honestly, rightfully so. Um, because yeah, we had a treehouse segment for the gameplay stuff. The trailer showed off new story
Okay.
elements which we
I,
hadn't seen
I've
before.
Yeah, I've not seen much of the Treehouse stuff to be
Hmm.
fair, so I've only seen mainly the direct. I saw like maybe a
Uh,
few snippets of Animal Crossing, but other than that, I've not seen a lot of the
hmm.
Treehouse stuff.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll
so
go back to
I
that.
definitely need to watch the Free Houses content at some point. Next
Hmm.
up is Resident Evil,
Yes,
which we had a crazy trailer for, just to
yeah,
just to
bit
say, oh
odd.
yeah, 5 and 6 are coming to the Switch, even though 5 and 6 were not featured in the live action portion of the trailer.
Yeah, it was just Resident Evil
So
Zero, I think.
it was either the Zero or the first game.
Yeah,
It's just so bizarre.
it was very
Um,
odd. But yeah,
yeah,
five and 6 are coming to the Switch. We already have Zero, Resident Evil 1, and Resident Evil 4 are also available. So that's
hmm.
5 Resident Evil games already on the Switch.
I
That's
think even
mental.
more because I believe we have the Revelations side games on the
Yes,
Switch.
Revelations as well. You're right. Yes, that's on there as well. So nice. Wow. If you love your Resident Evil games, you go and
Hmm.
pick up the Switch now, aren't you? So
It was just odd seeing like such a big trailer for that though. It was fairly well made. I will give them that, but it's just like I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Resident Evil 2's new remake to appear on the Switch for the next few
Um,
months as well, if I'm honest. But we'll
I'd say
see.
the original version of Resi 2 because it seems because
Maybe
the
both.
because I believe the remake of Resi 2 was built off the engine from Devil May Cry 5 or the other way around.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just seems like oh, I mean we could get the Resi 2 remake on Switch.
I think Resi 2 is the most likely one. I didn't see us seeing any others. Maybe we don't know. We don't know, do we? But it's good to have that many Resident Evil games, and it's a good
True.
series with dedicated fan base behind it. So good to see it on the Switch.
Next up, this was the first big surprise I feel the show.
Yes.
No More Heroes 3. Wow. It looks
They're like buses, these No More Heroes, aren't they?
um I liked it because even though I'm not a No More Heroes fan myself, I do like the character of Travis Touchdown. Um
Yeah.
and I really liked his I really liked his character and his energy in this trailer from the
He was
way how he just like came out all battered up from his apartment, just
he was
fucking
like
applied a mecha
third
suit
wall in
and
third
just
wall and
like
everything, like
flew
Deadpool, wasn't
up.
he?
And then as he just destroyed enemy, he was like, "Suck it," or something like that. I was just like, "Damn!" It's just like it's so cringe, but like it's so I don't know. It's just so funny. And then just to reveal
Dude's
that
so
it
cool.
was, and just to reveal that it was Travis Touchdown from that mecha outfit was a really cool surprise. I feel. But yeah, it was odd because even though Suda51, who's the creator behind the No More Heroes franchise, he teased info for the series beforehand. I was surprised we'd get info so soon because No More Heroes Trevor Strikes Again only launched this January,
Yeah.
and even during that time, it seemed like he wasn't sure about what he was going to do next. But no, it seems like he was already doing it. No More Heroes 3, which is really
Yeah.
interesting.
There we go.
I'm just hoping we'll get 1 and 2 on Switch. I'm really hoping because I believe
I
it's
thought
on
you had two.
PS4. It's
I thought
only
we
got
had two on the
PS4
Switch.
or PS3.
Huh?
Um, and two. See, even on PS4, PS3.
I'm confused. Which were we talking about now? No More Heroes
Yeah.
2, I thought was on the Switch.
Well, I want No More Heroes on the Switch. That's the thing.
Okay. The first one.
Um,
Right, okay. Right.
yeah. So a port of the game, No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise was on PS3 and PS4. No, PS3 and the Xbox 360, rather. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just want to experience the series. And I'm not gonna lie. I'd actually be fine with him being in Smash Brothers. To be
Yeah, a lot of
fair.
people have been calling for it now, haven't
Yeah.
they? But we'll see. It's one of those,
We'll
isn't it?
see. Yeah. Anyway, moving
Shall we
on.
move on to the next one? Yeah.
Contra. Um,
That
Rogue
big
Corps.
series from Konami for all those
Which
years back on the NES.
is the only way I knew that was a Contra game was when they said the word Contra and when they showed the
Contra at the
title.
front of it. That
Yeah.
was it.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So they were playing the trailer. And it's like, well, this looks kind of garbage. Why is this here? Then they mentioned the word Contra, and it's like, no, this can't be it. What?
No.
And then it suddenly turns out, yeah, it is a Contra title. I was like, well, shit.
There's some games that just don't work when you try and put them into 3D, and that's definitely one of them.
No, but it's like it just looked bad. Like especially in terms of
Yeah.
its aesthetic. It just
Mm,
didn't seem like a big release. Like the gameplay sucked. That's fine. But even from how it looked, it just looked
it didn't
fucking
look great.
no.
It didn't look great.
On the other hand, though, they did announce a anniversary collection of Contra games, which released day and date with the direct. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Can't
10
really say
games
much.
altogether. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big 74-page e-book thing,
Mm.
which was really weird.
Next up, Daemon X Machina. That's releasing September 13th, 2019.
it looks better than the alpha
That's
when
true.
it first the demo came out. It looks a lot better.
I
Whether
may
it will
need
play
to give
better, who
this.
knows?
I may need to give this another look. But so far, I'm just kind of like on it, and I think that'll be the general reaction,
Yeah.
admittedly. Moving on then, Panzer Dragoon.
Yes.
This is an odd one. I didn't even know. Well, like I only knew it was Panzer Dragoon by again the title, but it seemed like people were really happy with the announcement of a remake.
I've heard of it, Panzer Dragoon, but I've never actually played it. But when I
Hmm.
saw it, it was just like Star Fox with dragons. So I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. So
Um,
I think the only thing that sort of that annoyed me with it was like because the dragon's so large, you miss like half the screen because
hmm,
he's like flapping his wings away. So it didn't look like you could quite view it in that from that direction
right.
very well. So I was just wondering if there was like a first person sort of mode or something that could
Hmm.
help out with that. But otherwise, it looked pretty fun, and it's apparently a remake of the original.
I
So,
believe so.
but again, I've
Yeah,
never
yeah, it
played it. I
is.
don't.
It is.
What console was it on format? Do you know?
It's definitely a Sega console. It's a Sega
Okay,
series.
right. Possibly Dreamcast then, or Saturn maybe. But I have to look into that. Cool. It's coming this winter.
Yes.
So if you're interested, pick it up this winter.
Um,
Oh, here comes the big one. This should be fun.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, which we haven't talked about on the
No.
podcast before because, of course, we've been kind of lazy and deciding to end the podcast in the meantime.
It's all
Um,
good.
so yes, so this got a little well, this got direct before E3, where they showed off more about the game, including right. So we got a bit to discuss here, a bit to dissect. First
Right.
of all, I just want to mention this very quickly. I'm in love with the character design for this. So I was talking to Jack with this before he may even hear a little
Yeah.
bit of me being a bit of a sourdough in the end of the podcast. But I'm just like in love with Sonia and Nessa. I think they are just so fucking cute. I don't care. They're kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
We're ending the
Um,
podcast because Matt's got this strange obsession with Sonia and
2D
Nessa. That's why.
girls. Yes.
Yeah.
No, but like aside from that, I'm just liking the character design of other characters. So, for example,
Yeah.
Leon,
I like
who's
the Scottish Pokemon trainer sort of design. She's
yeah.
very cool.
Um, but even Leon has such a fucking stupid design, but that's why I love it.
Everyone
Because
keeps saying they think it's a Ditto, don't they? This grass trainer dude. Is that Leon? Is that right?
no, Leon is the champion.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
he's
Okay.
the dude with the robe and the football outfit at the same time,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
it's so silly, but I don't know. I really like the design.
I like the fact it's in stadiums though.
Hmm.
I don't being a football fan, that just sort of makes me think, oh, you could actually use one of the stadiums to play Pokemon in. That would be amazing. And if you
Um,
could have them in those giant
the
Pokemon.
one of the big things I saw, I think through a gameplay demo, is that gym puzzles are back, so you will have to work your way up to the champion, not the champion, to
Okay.
the gym leader, which I'm happy with because I was scared
So,
in the initial trailer and then the direct from last week. I was scared that it would only be just the big battles
so kind of
with the gym
similar to
leader.
like Sun and Moon in
No,
way.
I think it's more like
Or...
the classic gyms, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like you got like go through all the puzzles, beat some trainers, and then face off with the gym leader. Although this time it seems like it's much more of a spectacle, which I quite like. I think that's kind of
Mhm.
cool.
The
That
game looks great. It looks great in HD
yes
and having a
and
you know
no.
no.
Because I am liking how it looks, but it wasn't as I fear it's still kind of like the Sun and Moon aesthetic, which is fine because I think those still look great, and I'm really liking the environments and how it looks in general with Sun and Moon as well, in Sword and Shield as well. And
Yeah.
the UI of Sword and Shield looks
I
clean.
think
It's so slick.
yeah.
Oh,
The environments and the world itself look absolutely stunning. I think from what I've seen of the
not
trailers and stuff. But
not absolute like the cities and stuff, yes, but the
hmm.
some
Even like in
bits
in the
more.
fields and stuff like that, I think they look fantastic. Kind of thing. There's just like
I think so.
random Pokemon walking around and stuff as well, and it's like, oh, okay.
I'm just not blown away by it. I still think it looks better than Let's Go though, because Let's Go
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
kind of vanilla, admittedly.
Hmm.
Um, but um, it was like compared to X and Y and to Sun and Moon, that was such a big jump, and that was on the same console.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm hoping that for Gen 9, in 3 years from now, that will be the big jump. That will be the one that's like, yes, this is a proper from the ground up,
Yeah.
brand new art
So
style and
should we
everything.
should we talk about the controversy with
So
Pokemon
yes,
Sword and Shield?
so during the treehouse or something, I don't know, it was treehouse or an interview or whatever thing. Um, they've confirmed that there will no longer be a national dex, and because of that, you can no longer bring Pokemon that are not in the Galar Pokédex, which is the
Yeah.
first time for the series. Because before that, even up to Sun and Moon, you would always be able to bring your Pokemon all the way up from Ruby and Sapphire.
Hmm.
Um, and of course, a big part of that was Pokemon Bank. Before this news break out, we knew of an app coming called Pokemon Home, which is sort of
Yeah.
like a big hub to store all your Pokemon. So that will be all your Pokemon from Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go, Pokemon Bank, and Pokemon Sword and Shield. So it's
It
like,
it
okay,
was
so
like an upgrade to Pokemon Bank,
yeah,
effectively, wasn't it? It
um,
was yeah.
so it's like okay, so that's how we'll be able to bring Pokemon from our 3DS games to our Switch games. That's fine. But then this news broke out, and it's like it is disappointing because I saw one comment saying like he had a Swampert since the first Ruby and Sapphire. He's been with him for like 15 years, and I was like, that's really sweet because
Mm,
that's admittedly a big reason why I like Pokemon. I like it more for the adventure aspect and the connection between your
yeah.
Pokemon.
There's
As stupid as that sounds, I feel that I really respect that kind of outlook. Um,
I get the word people who've got the Pokemon Bank who play competitively and things like that are annoyed and upset the fact they can't bring their best trained Pokemon over, or their shinies, or whatever. But at the same time, you've got to sort of think of it from a game dev perspective. The fact that they're going to have to add another 100 or so Pokemon possibly this gen.
They've confirmed that if we include alternate forms, so like Alolan forms and stuff like that, we have 1,000 Pokemon.
Oh, must be over that by now, because there's 800 standard Pokemon already.
Yeah. Well, that's yes, I believe before Sword and Shield we had like 809, and those are just like standard numbers.
But then you got to think there's a male version, female version for most of those Pokemon.
Not like
there are a few differences.
They were thinking more of I believe they're thinking more like how Shaman has its land form and its sky form, how Giratina has its alternate dimension form and the form with legs, stuff like that. Or like Unknown having 26.
But
forms.
Still, if you've got a male version, a female version, a shiny male version, a shiny female version, that's 4 Pokemon they've got to make or create for each Pokemon that's available. So that's already 3,200 before you've added all the other extras and Alolan forms and things.
Oh yeah.
So you can kind of see it from the developer's perspective why they wouldn't want to add all the Pokemon into one game. But at the same time, you can sort of understand the frustrations from the fans, and it's like if you
more
want
like
a game out in a year, I don't think you'll be able to do 3,200 animations, or probably 6,400 animations. So they normally got 2 or 3 each. So it's just going to make it even more less likely that you're not going to get a game out every year. So.
The thing is, though, it was like there are definitely some bits where it's like that people are wishing that people outside of Game Freak had actually developed it, because it does. So one bit I saw in I think it was the direct, when the trainer was shaking a tree, I didn't see any shadows there at all. It just looked like it was just placed there, right? And some bits as well where they called upon the animations of some moves where it was only just a hop.
Yeah. There's not much to a lot of the moves and things. Yeah, I can understand the frustration there.
Which is fine, but it's like, I don't know. So like you can't win. So like if you have all the Pokemon there, that'll be like too much workload, I feel.
You talk, yeah.
And then if there's too little, then people will complain about, well, why can't we just have?
So the options are cut out some Pokemon and reduce their workload, or annoy all the fans at the same time, or you add all of them. Probably not get a good game because they just worked solely on character modelling.
See, the thing is, this is why I'm annoyed, because I feel like it's still going to be a good game, and I feel like you should still enjoy it for the Pokemon you can have, right? Yeah. Or just like I certainly feel that that's frustrating, but it's also like, I don't know. For me, at least, it's like I always don't like the idea of bringing over my overpowered team into my new game anyway. I like going on this new journey, in catching my own Pokemon in that separate journey, right?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't in X and Y and Sun and Moon you can't catch all the Pokemon in those games. You have to transfer them over.
Yeah, you have to transfer them over. But that's the thing. You can at least transfer them over and still use them.
Yeah.
But in Sword and Shield, it seems like you can't.
But there's only a set amount of Pokemon you can use in those games, which are set so they can set it competitively and balance it right. Would that be the right way to say it?
But the thing is, I feel like a massive outcry because of this has came from casual fans more so. Even like on the Trias segment, there was like 17k likes and then like 54k dislikes.
Yeah, it's always going to be.
I know. It's just like
it's kind of a rock and a hard place. This sort of whole discussion, isn't it? Because you got to think between who's happy and who's not happy, and at the end of the day, you're going to be stuck either way. You can't really. There's no real right answer to this. I don't think. If you wanted to have every single Pokemon in the game, I think you're going to be waiting at least 3, maybe 4 years for the next Pokemon game, and Nintendo won't do that because it's just. These games make money so quickly. It's just there's no way it's going to do that. And I think that's the reason why Let's Go, for example, only had the 150. Like they could always do it in sections and have the next next section coming out kind of thing,
Mm.
and reduce the workload of Pokemon which you can introduce to those games. But you got to think that transferring over from the 3DS version to the Switch, there is a lot of work that still has to be done there. It's not just a simple, oh, let's just flip the switch from cell shaded to full character models. It's like they've got to do a lot of character model work there to make this game come out, kind of thing. I can't really decide what side I'm on with this whole argument.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
sort
lie.
of stuck in the middle.
I'm still kind of on the fence. Like for me, it's like, of course, the optimal solution would be like we'd have all the Pokemon in there, and it'd all be fleshed out with like good animations. And to be fair, it can improve, but it's like some people pointed out that like the wing girls in the overworld weren't even flapping their wings. They were just
Oh,
an
right.
static image, just like floating about, and it's like that's not animation, you know. That's not.
Is that the final version of the game though?
It's not the
That's the
final
last thing.
version, so that's what I'm hoping with. But it's like
They could always tweak a
we're
few things on the way
we're five
to.
months away from
Yeah,
release. 5 months away from release.
that's still quite a long time
That's
in game
true,
dev,
but it's like
but
people still want that to happen, and it's gonna be annoying because it's like um. Because I think it's still gonna it's still gonna be successful. People are still gonna enjoy it, but it's just gonna not be a bit. I don't know.
it's another point of this whole crunch time stuff as well, though, isn't it? Because it's like there's been lots of
Hmm.
companies that have been getting a lot of
I
bad
believe
press for
I believe Joe
you.
Merrick made a great point about how Pokemon can't just be easily delayed, because that would put a halt to everything else. Because of course you got the side games, you got the trading card game, and you got the anime, and you got
Yeah,
everything else going on. So you can't
you
be
can't
just
just stop
like,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so you can't like
yeah.
stop the main games because they're the main games, which
Mm.
sucks. So what I'd rather do, um, because we do get like a generation every 3 years, which is fine. That's a good amount, I feel. But it's like then the year after, what I'm hoping is that we don't get another version again. Like if the next version introduces the national index properly, then it's like grand, okay. But it's also like, but now you screwed over the people that bought the original copy, right?
Mm.
So I'm hoping next year is like either they take a break or they give us Diamond and Pearl remake. That's what I'm hoping. Um,
Okay.
because I feel with the Diamond and Pearl remake they could get away with saying like with Let's Go. They could say we're only having Sin and Pokemon in here. And it's just okay, that's fine because you want to keep it like as original as possible. And then maybe like because we were using the same engine, we could just bring it over the Galar region Pokemon as well,
I
or the
I would have no problem with a Let's Go Gold and Silver game personally. I know a lot
I
of
want to
people
run that
won't,
next year
won't so
because I
thrust.
feel like
Yeah,
people are being
but
thirsty
as a
for.
filler game in between though, I would have no problem with that personally. But
I'm just worried
I'm
that like I'd be annoyed. I'd actually be flat out annoyed if Sinnoh remakes are part of the Let's Go formula
I'm
because
just looking at release dates for Pokemon in general, and it seems to be either every 2 years or every year we've had a Pokemon game. So
well
it's
like
it's a little bit
we have
it's a bit
and the
strange.
only I think the only outlier has been 2015 because ever since 2009, at least over here,
Since
we've had a Pokemon game. Like,
since 2016, we had Pokemon Sun and Moon, then we had Ultra Sun and Moon, then Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, and now
Sword and
Sword
Shield.
and Shield,
Yeah.
all coming out. There's a game every year for the last 4 years. So
Well, yeah, and then the only outlier was like 2015 since '09 because we had
yes, that's
Platinum
it.
in
You're right. Yeah.
'09 and then Johto remakes, then Black and White
Mm.
2, then X and Y,
So
and then
there's not
ORAS.
much gap between Pokemon games. That's the
No,
main
um,
point we can take from that.
and that's fine, but it's like I don't know, because I think people will be still be like with Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is the definitive edition. Like they added so much from the base game, like a lot of quality of life improvements. But the thing is, we having that on a new console, and I feel that's justifiable enough to be like, okay, we're gonna put this on a new console. I'm gonna add a bunch of new features, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But with a new updated version for a Pokemon game, it's like you already have it on the same console, right? So it's like It's like
Yeah,
I want to
I
what
get where you're coming from,
yeah.
definitely, and I can sort of
Um,
I can see both sides of the whole argument and things with it, but it's just I don't know what the right answer is. I don't think anyone
mm.
really knows what the right answer
Yeah,
is, kind of
it's
thing.
like
But
again, it's like going back to the point. It's like game development is tough, yes, but on the other hand, it's like this is Pokemon. I feel
yeah,
like Pokemon could do
if you're all right
better.
waiting 2 to 3 years, maybe four for the next game, I think you'd be happy to get a massive like Breath of the Wild esque Pokemon game,
Mm.
but you've got to be
You see,
patient
like
and you've got to wait for it,
that's
kind
the
of
thing.
thing.
It's like this game, like with the wild area, right, of Sword
Yeah,
and Shield. That's cool. That's a really like that's more exciting than Dynamax. Dynamax is the new battle feature,
yeah.
but it just seems to be like, oh, this leads more to strategy, yes, but it just doesn't seem exciting. It's just like let's just make them giant, right, and just say, oh,
Pikachu Chungus.
for fuck's sake. Um, um, but yeah, it's just like let's just make them more powerful as well, and it's like
what did you
okay,
what did you think about the raid battle sort of style as well with the four
raid battles
players?
I liked. Raid
Yeah,
battles are cool. It's like if we didn't have Dynamax, but we had raid battles, it's like cool. That's a cool feature, and I don't see
yeah,
people like celebrating that because that's a really cool thing for a brand new Pokemon
yeah,
game.
definitely.
Um, but it's like,
It also brings in the Pokemon Go players who are
mm,
used to doing raid battles out on the go as
mm,
well and stuff like that. But yeah,
uh, but
okay,
yeah. Anyway,
we've talked about Pokemon for far too long, so we need to go on to the next thing, which
um,
on our list is Astral Chain.
yes. So Astral Chain, I am very excited for this because it is a brand new Platinum Games game. Who I'd say is probably one of my favorite developers. It looks like a very nice action game in the same vein as Bayonetta and Wonderful 101, complete with the mission structure in tow, where you get a grade at every little thing you do. I can't really say anything too special about it yet,
Yeah,
outside of
it
like.
it looks nice, but I don't know what it is.
So, story-wise, I'm still a bit hazy. I just think it's gonna be some cool anime shit, and your policeman. So, like, the gameplay is split into two parts. So, of course, you got the traditional action that Platinum Games is famous for. But then the other side, shown in the treehouse bit, is that you investigate as well, because you're a policeman and you have to investigate all these mysterious attacks that are happening in the
Okay.
city. And so the city is called the Ark. It's one of the um, one of the few inhabitable places on Earth because outside is just polluted as all hell. So could
It's
be
the
a
future.
future, yes.
Yes.
Um, so it's going to be interesting to see how if that's going to play into anything about the pollution or whatever. So
There's not much more I can say on it, to
no,
be
yeah.
honest.
So
There was
the
just
investigation parts that was shown off in the treehouse look okay. I'm sure they'll be a bit more complex than just go here and press A. Because they did show. So one of the key features of Astral Chain is that you have your Legion, not to be associated with the Ubisoft game coming out next year. So what your Legion is, it's a special weapon that you can use throughout the game. So in the detective side, um, well, basically you can use it, but normal people can't. So as a special task force for the police department, you can use these special weapons that normal people can't even see. So because of that, you're able to spy and eavesdrop on other people, um, and they're none the wiser. Um, or you're able to solve a problem that they can't seem to solve themselves. Combat wise, though, looks fucking insane. So you have your general attacks, weapons, and stuff, which looks fine. You'll be open to more weapons as you go along. But your Legion can take on many forms, and it seems like you're controlling two characters at the same time, which I'm a bit
Knuckles
worried.
chaotic style.
Yeah, so it seems a bit too chaotic. But because of that, I feel like it's going to be very satisfying and very rewarding when you do get a nice grasp of the combat system as in general. But one of the cool things that you could have is because you and your legion are connected by a chain. And so one of the things you could do is that you could extend that chain to trip up enemies and cause them to like kind of flip over. Another cool thing is that so if you wrap the chain around, so you control your legion to do a loop around the enemy, and then you cross over, then you can like tighten the chain to like to sort of like choke the enemy, I guess. And tighten the chain around them. Oh, it just looks good. I didn't explain it the best just now, but if you saw, just watch the Treehouse gameplay, and it looks sick. I need to see the second live stream show of that because apparently that had top level play from the director himself. Um, oh, but I'm excited. I've been meaning to get on a good action heavy. So I've been meaning to return to Neo Automata, which is another Platinum Games title. Um, but that didn't have the gameplay that I liked from Bayonetta because it's more open world based, right?
Okay.
Like the action's still good. I'm still liking the action in the Automata when I originally played it. But with Bayonetta, I feel it was like more, it was more bizarre, and more crazy things going on, right? And it was more
It
mission
was it
based.
was surprising that there was no mention of Bayonetta 3 at all at this
No,
E3 as well,
um, but
which is weird.
the reason why I'm kind of fine with that is because they still, in a way, they haven't promised us a release date, but they've said that it's going well, which is all I can say. Which I'm okay with because it means it's not
I'm
getting
okay with it.
delayed and it's not in like and it's not in a Inazuma 11 R's situation where that game has seemed to be like in development hell because it's been delayed so many times already and with no firm release date even. So that's a bit
Anyway,
annoying.
Matt,
Anyway,
shall we go on?
yeah, I've been talking too long. Next up, Empire of Sin. Don't have much to say.
Yeah, I thought it was LA Noire 2, but it wasn't. It was some weird mobster sort of game. That'll do.
That'll do. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, Marvel characters all in big fighting game thing. Yeah, we've got Spidey from the new animated movie in there, and loads of characters from that. It's coming July 19th. It's got lots and lots of enemies and good guys you know from films and comic books, and they've got expansion passes already in place with like adds 3 extra packs and more characters, including the X-Men.
Mm.
So yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. I like the actual design of the characters. Would like to see some gameplay though. So there's not been much of that so far. So yeah, maybe we can see the actual game before we decide on just the artwork. So, but,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not really bothered by it. Admittedly, it just kind of looks meh.
I remember the first game when it came out. It was like on PS2, I believe, something like that, and it was actually quite good.
Mm.
But I can't really comment on this because I've not seen any gameplay. So
Well, the weird thing is that this is a Switch exclusive, which is
yes,
quite a nice
which
thing
is
to
a
have.
surprise. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Kingdoms of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. That is the full title, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is basically says it all in the tin, really, doesn't it?
So I've been playing this because I've been dying to play this since it was first announced. Because I really liked Crypt of the Necrodancer. Because I really like rhythm games.
I believe
Um,
Crypt of the Necrodancer's on cheap on the Switch shop as well,
I
eShop at the
believe
moment
so.
as well.
Hopefully, by the time you're listening to it, it will still be like £4. Um,
I'll have a look.
but if you're able to travel to the past, like I believe it was like 350 or £4, maybe. But if you're able to travel to the past and get it, fucking get it. It's a fun roguelike adventure. I've talked about it on the podcast before. Can't remember exactly when. But a big reason why I liked that is because they had the collab between with Danganronpa, so you're able to play the game whilst listening to Danganronpa music, which is cool.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Right.
and so when I was watching the initial trailer for this, I was like, okay, it seems like it's a new Crypt of the Necrodancer game. That's cool. I'll take that. But then I heard the fucking like Zelda theme. I was like, no way. It was just
Crypt of the Necrodancer is still £3.59, which is 80% off at the moment.
Very good price there. Very good price there. But yeah, so for those that don't know, Crypt of the Necrodancer is a rhythm-based roguelike where everything you do and everything that happens revolves around the beat of the music. Um, so every step you take, every time you slash an enemy, every time you open a door, you all have to do that to the soundtrack, um,
Okay. Yeah.
which which does sound more complicated than you may think. But once you get into the flow of everything, and once you play it for yourself, it may become second nature to you. Aside from the couple of hiccups there here and there. And so the thing is that enemies have unique patterns. So it's all about learning those patterns and just learning from it, learning where to move, how to move, so on and so forth. Maybe what the
Okay.
best weapon is to use on them. Um, so Cadence of Hyrule is Crypt the Necrodancer, but mixed with the Zelda formula. Originally, I thought it'd just be, it's just with Zelda characters and Zelda music. Cool, I'm fine. But in actuality, well, in reality, I don't think actuality is a real word. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
It is now.
Actuality. Yeah, actuality. That is a real word. Yes. Um, it is actually a Zelda game. It really is. So I was expecting so it would continue the dungeon crawling roguelike adventure, but instead you explore a whole overworld in Zelda style. So like in Link to the Past where you have various screens, you have that in Kingdoms of Hyrule. You've got like 120 screens or something to explore, and you need to go to dungeons. You find secrets, you find pieces of a heart, you use Zelda items. So yeah, so it really is the 2D Zelda gameplay mixed with the rhythm gameplay of Crypt of the Necrodancer. So
Mm.
you see, so if you're fans of both series, you'll see that there are elements of Zelda, and you'll see that there are elements of Crypt of the Necrodancer in this game.
Cool.
Um, so I've been playing that. I've finished it just yesterday. I'm tempted to replay it because it is a highly replayable game. Just because one, the gameplay is fun. Can't can't really get enough of it. It's just
Well,
quite addictive. Two,
I'm just downloading Crypt of Necrodancer now, so I'm going
oh,
to yeah, I'll give
good
it a
stuff.
go.
Yeah. Um, and then the second reason is because the soundtrack is fucking fire in this game.
I've
Um,
heard good things of the music. Yeah,
very good
yeah.
things. So one cool thing is that they have a couple of my favorite cover artists. So one is Adriana, who does lovely vocal covers of some music, and the other is Family Jules, who does really cool guitar remixes. Um,
He's in it, is he?
yes, so he's the guitarist of the
Oh, that's
game.
cool.
Because
Oh,
he also
I'm in
worked
already.
on because Family Jules also worked on the original Crypt of the Necrodancer, but it was still cool to see him come back for Cadence of Hyrule. Um, but yeah, it's just like
Nice.
the best thing about this though is that it's the fact that an indie studio was able to work with Nintendo on such a big IP.
It's
And I
great to
feel,
see another spin-off as well for the Zelda
oh
series.
yeah,
It's like, especially with Hyrule Warriors
we
doing so
finally
well.
got a rhythm-based Zelda game. I'm happy. I'm so happy. Um, because it's like we've got Persona rhythm game, we've got a Zelda rhythm game. Now we just need a rhythm game for every Nintendo franchise with good music, and we're sorted. Oh.
And cross-pro training on the Switch.
Um, but yeah, I really think it may be my favourite Zelda spin-off. Like Hyrule Warriors is good, don't get me wrong, but oh man, Cadence of Hyrule is just like so
do
well
you count
crafted.
Minish? Do you count Minish Cap as a spin-off?
No, Minish Cap is a Zelda title.
Well, it's made by Capcom though, isn't it?
It's still a Zelda title.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because it's a different
Yeah, that's a
developer
good
doesn't
game.
mean that's a spin-off necessarily.
Yeah, I
Um,
suppose. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
um,
Shall we move on,
yeah,
Matt, before we talk
move
our
on.
way
Yes,
into more?
Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games.
Yes.
I can't really give much of a toss, but it's cool to see. It's Mario and
I
Sonic.
saw I saw a glimpse of a 2D looking mode, and I'm very, very interested to find out what that is.
Yeah, that was
Can we
definitely
play this in classic looking Sonic and Mario style? I would be very, very up for that. So I need to see more of that. But
um.
yeah, but otherwise, there's some new events included and stuff like that, isn't there?
Hmm.
It's
So
rock
one,
climbing.
there's rock climbing, which my flatmate was very pleased to see because he's very big into that kind of social activity. Skateboarding is new, and I believe surfing as well.
Oh,
So it'll be
okay.
interesting to see how those are implemented,
I
as well
hope
as
I hope
kickboxing.
they've still got. Oh, kickboxing.
Yes, so
Okay, that's
you can
interesting.
see Peach kicking the shit out of Tails.
We can see Wario trying to kick people. That would be amazing. Oh my god, his little
um,
feet just like. "Urgh." Oh
so
man.
that's coming out this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll probably pick that up. To be fair, it's a great party game, isn't it? Really,
Hmm.
Mario and Sonic Olympics. So
Um, Next up though.
online mode as well.
Oh, okay.
No, online
Online
mode.
mode. Later on this year. Next up
Yeah,
though, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Um, of course, this is a title that many people were looking forward to, um, and I think a lot of people would have been very mad about if it didn't show up in any capacity in the
yeah.
during the direct. But they finally showed off gameplay. It seems to be kind of like a survival game almost. Like you start out from completely from scratch, and you have to build your town from that. So it's not a case of past Animal Crossing games where you just turn up and boom, you're the mayor. You moved in, so you must be the one to lead our new town, obviously. Um,
Obviously.
obviously. But here it takes a more interesting approach of like you're building your town from scratch. So I feel it's going to be more satisfying when you eventually do build your town, right? Finally, and start taking care of it like that. Um,
Yeah.
Other
You
thing,
basically start from scratch again, and it's a new way of saying you're starting from scratch again, kind of thing. Giving you your own deserted island in a way.
mm. Oh, it literally is like a deserted island. Yeah, someone because like I gave you the plane fare, I gave you a phone, I gave you a tent. That'll be 48,000 bells.
Yeah, goddamn Tom Nook. He's always after more money, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Tom Nook's a good dude. Tom Nook's a
He's
good
like in the
dude.
1%, I swear.
um, oh man.
Sorry.
No, why are you
It looks
sorry?
great. It looks stunning. It
Yes.
looks beautiful.
Um, there's a couple of like new details as well. So one of the things that really surprised me was you can pole vault over rivers. And I thought that was a
Can you?
really yeah. It's like you can just have a pole, stick into the river, just leap across. So you don't
Wow.
really have a need for bridge, and I think that's just a really cool quality of life thing, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's interesting.
hmm, really cool. What else? You can play online with
There's
up
been
to 8 friends. That's really cool.
yes, and also co-op
2D,
play as well with
not
two
2D,
players.
two-player co-op. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Um, what's it? You can put furniture outside, which may seem minor,
I was gonna, I was
but
confused by this because I thought like they could do that in the mobile game. So is that
I
not
think
a
so.
thing?
But
Is that not a thing
it's
in the originals?
because now you could do that in an actually good game. That's why it matters now.
Oh, oh, hot take.
What?
Oh.
Well, I haven't even played the mobile version, but it doesn't seem too hot from people's reaction.
No, it's all right. It's nothing
Yeah,
amazing.
but like this is the first time we could do this outside, which I think would just like add a lot more personality to whatever town you want to create. Really, like you could have like your own little garden outside of just flowers. I think that's really cool. Um, and you could craft items, so more materials will have more of an impact,
Yeah,
which would be really
it
cool.
just seems to me like there's a lot of stuff from the mobile game is now being transferred into the main games, which is
I
good.
believe so.
Which is, I think,
Yeah.
the good parts anyway.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Um.
The question so far though is the size of each island seems quite small,
Um.
but I don't know if
That's
that's
true.
correct or not.
I'm not sure about that actually. I may have another look at the treehouse to see the size of the map.
Like
Because
whether
I
you
don't
can
think they've
unlock.
ever been too grand anyway.
No,
No.
not been massive in terms
Um,
of like world sizes in most Animal Crossing games, but the fact that you can craft more and more items continually makes you want to have
mm.
more space to be able to put them down
Oh
in
yeah.
places. But yeah, it's shaping up to look very good, and I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy
Mm.
with what they've seen so far. The only main problem with it being delayed till next year, so a little bit
But
frustrating.
we have a firm release date of March 20th, 2019.
That's it. That's true.
2020
At least we've
rather.
got a firm date now.
Um,
Yeah.
which is always good to have because it's not like a standard one like spring 2019. You have like a day and date. That's good.
It's good
The
to have unless you are a shareholder of Nintendo stock, because apparently after this it plummeted by about 1 billion points. So anyway,
um, but yeah, this is what I was going to touch on earlier about Doug Bowser. Because he made a point of saying that in this time we don't want to put our workers through crunch, and that we want to promote a healthy balance between work and
yeah,
normal life, which is
I
good.
fully praise him for saying that. Yeah,
Mm.
brilliant stuff.
Which is always nice to see. Like that's the shit I want to hear about. I don't want to hear about like no microtransactions or anything. I just want to hear them being, yeah, we're actually being decent-minded folk, and
I
that's
don't
good
want to
enough.
see people working 23 out of 24 hours every day of the
Oh yeah,
week. You know, it's like it's just not on. So it's
why?
nice to see that there's a company coming out and saying this is wrong. This is what we're going to do about
Mm.
it. So
Oh yeah,
it may delay games for us, but you know, at the end of the day,
oh
if
yeah,
it helps employee rights and stuff, I'm all for
mm.
it. So
Yeah. Yes, that's fine. It being delayed. Right. Moving on, we have some smaller titles that were in the highlight reel. We've picked out some of the highlights for us here.
just do a
Um,
quick selection.
the new Super Lucky Tale,
Yeah,
which is an Xbox game. This is quite
yeah.
interesting to see.
It was quite a little fun, basic little platformer. There's not much to it, but it's quite a fun little game to
Hmm.
pick up and play for a few hours. So yeah, that's cool.
hmm Ni no Kuni, The Wrath of the
I was
White
happy.
Witch. This is
Original.
I believe this is the collaboration between Level 5 and Studio Ghibli. Um,
See, I only played half of the first one on PS3, I believe.
hmm.
So I would like to go back to that and play all the way through the game. It was very fun what I played.
Hmm.
If you like your
Oh
RPG games,
yeah,
so
I've definitely been interested in getting that if I could.
it's very Pokemon in battle style
Okay.
kind of thing. What I played of it. So
My
yeah,
my only complaint is that it's not the remastered version, which the PS4 is getting. Um,
yeah, that's the
so unless
problem.
it's just a graphical update, then that's fine. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, moving on. Spyro Reignited trilogy. Fucking
Yep.
finally. Um,
Well, you say that, but the same happened with Crash Bandicoot. It came out on
I
PS4
say that,
first, as
but
an
that's because this
exclusive.
was the worst kept secret for a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so it's like this was like kind of like in talks, like rumors, like
E-
last year. It's like, oh well,
Everyone kind of expected it, but I
oh
think
yeah,
PlayStation had a first like exclusive on
no,
both games. So.
no, it's I believe it released the same date on Xbox.
Oh, did it?
So
Okay, I
that's
didn't
why
know
I
that.
was curious about why the Switch version was taking so long.
Yeah.
Crash was a
Who
PS4
knows?
exclusive for
Who
a
knows?
while. Anyway,
Yes, that's okay.
um, Hollow Knight sequel.
Hollow Knight.
I'm playing through the first Hollow Knight right now. It's pretty fun. Not my favorite game. I'm not seeing why it's so highly regarded, but it's good. I'm enjoying my time with it.
Hollow Knight's also cheap on the East shop
Hmm.
as well at the moment. If you are interested in trying it before the sequel comes out,
Hmm.
so we'll have a look.
Silk Song, that's what it's called.
That's it.
Yeah. Next up, Minecraft Dungeons. I'm sorry, I
You're
can't
not
bring myself.
fussed, are
No,
you?
no.
I don't mind it. I mean,
hmm
I don't mind Minecraft, but this looks kind of they've made it into an adventure top-down
Hmm.
mode, and it's not. It is Minecraft, but it's not Minecraft in a way. It's a very odd way to describe it. But yeah, it's something different. So
Hmm.
for more collaborations between the Minecraft, Microsoft Studio, and Nintendo is a good thing. So I'm happy with that.
My friend Pedro. It's coming out
It was
in
shown,
just
but
this week.
it's out in 4 days'
Yeah.
time.
This looks quite fun.
I've played. I played a bit of it at the EGX Resd, and
Hmm.
it was very, very fun. Very weird to control
Mm.
in terms of using the person you use. Lots of jumping and firing, and the control system itself was very strange to get used to. But it was fun, and you are basically talking to a banana the whole time. So yeah, as you do.
Um, what's next? Doom Eternal. So this was announced for Switch last year, but it looks great. I don't know. I'm really interested in getting into an arcade-like shooter.
Yeah, these were only this and Wolfenstein Youngblood as well, which has been announced. Was mainly announced in the Bethesda parts at E3, so that was only shown in the highlight reel in the direct.
Mm.
But yeah, it's cool to see that they're still continuing to bring Bethesda games to the Switch as well as other consoles. So I'm happy with that. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's good.
Next up is
Both
Alien Isolation. I don't know about this.
This was a surprise, though, wasn't it?
Okay.
There was no mention of this anywhere of coming to the Switch, so this is quite a unique
Mm.
game. It did very well when it first came out for PS4 and Xbox, I believe, as well. But it's like you've basically got one alien on the ship, and you've got to try and do things to stop it from attacking you and moving it to different areas and stuff like that. It's very. It should be a VR game in a way, and it should be played in a VR sort of setting, but it's still a very enjoyable game.
Mm.
Do recommend it.
Next up is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which was announced last autumn.
Is this the because I'm getting confused with Crystal Chronicles? It was on the GameCube and the Wii originally, I believe.
Definitely the GameCube, and I think PS2, maybe.
There was a Wii version, and I can't
Okay.
remember what it was called. I don't know if it was a sequel or something like that, but I don't know. But yeah, more Final Fantasy games ish coming to
Um,
coming to the console again
and then finally,
with Final Fantasy 8 as well, which is coming to Switch.
oh yes, a remastered version.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Um, and then finally, Just
Oh,
Dance 2020
coming to the
coming
Wii.
to the Wii.
Still making games to the Wii. Just
But like,
Dance. Well
why
done.
why wouldn't they though? That's the thing. Because
The biggest market for them, I suppose.
yeah.
Those weirdos that still got their Wii set up just to play Just Dance. Sorry, weirdos. They do have Little Big's Skibbity in this version though, which is the weirdest song in the world, and it's got the best sort of dancing moves to it. So I'm interested to watch people play this game just to do that dance. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's it for
And
the
that's
highlight
pretty much
reel.
it. Yeah, right.
That's about it. For the highlight reel. But there are two very big announcements left to dissect here. The first, of course, is Banjo-Kazooie in Super Smash Bros.
Oh my
Our
god!
this is weird. So Dragon Quest Rep and Banjo-Kazooie were the biggest contenders in Smash speculation leading into E3, and
Yeah,
both got announced at
yeah,
E3.
yeah,
It really is the best of both worlds because you got the iconic series of Dragon Quest, and you got the fan favorite and the heavily requested character of Banjo-Kazooie finally getting into Smash.
yeah.
Um,
With
I think
with
that's
work
cool.
from Microsoft and Rare to get them into the
Mm,
game as well. So it's brilliant that they've done such a
mm,
big collaboration to do this.
yeah. So
Um,
Banjo looks like a fun character. Seems to take his moves from the 64 game, which I love.
yeah,
Um,
there's the part I saw with Kazooie running on her feet with Banjo on her back. So so I don't know how that helps out in
mm,
terms of fighting, but it'd be interesting to see how that works.
mm. Um,
There's
a cool thing with this, in terms of the music, it was Spiral Mountain remix, but it was done by Grant Kirkhope himself.
yeah,
Um,
and
and
snippets from the music itself is from the other levels in Banjo Kazooie as well. So
yes,
that like it's kind of changes halfway through with little snippets here and there.
mm,
So it's all a unique
um,
original music he's made just for this
mm.
this this part of the game. So that's
The
cool.
the most pure thing about this day was Sakurai complimenting Grant on Twitter. I thought that was just really a really nice thing. I'll get up the tweet. Um, But I
Well,
don't know.
while you're doing that, I do recommend that everyone goes and checks out my good friend Barry, who got an interview with Grant Kirkhope literally a
Yes.
few hours after finding out about the banjo in Smash and the fact he did all the music. I was like, wow, okay, that's quite a surprise. But
um,
yeah, it's well worth watching that interview. It's really interesting.
yeah, so Grant Kirkhope said, "It was such an honor for me to write that music for you, Sakurai-san. Your feedback was perfect and really made the piece special. Thank you for the opportunity. I loved it." Sakurai replied, "Thank you very much for your composition and arrangement. I am pleased with this opportunity, and thanks to everybody's cooperation rather." I just think that's really nice. That was just really cool to see, I feel. That's it. Um,
I do
yeah,
like the Spiral Mountain stage as well.
really
It's
cool.
got little like bits of characters in the game as
Mm,
well. So you got Grunty the witch who's flying around on a broomstick. You've got Mumbo Jumbo is the skull like character. He's featured in hidden areas and sort of jumps out every now and then. Bottles the mole as well. He jumps out from mole hills and comes out. Whether there'll be actual interactions on the stage or not with those characters, I
mm.
don't know. But it's nice to see them make little cameo
Oh yeah.
appearances in the game. And there was one extra on top of Banjo's house in the original game was a one-up like a life basically,
Mm.
and they've included it in the background on top of his house in the actual stage as well. So that was quite a kind of weird little Easter egg. But yeah, okay, thanks for that.
Um,
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm
mm.
definitely going to pick up Banjo.
I'm
I'm quite happy with that.
so this is the thing. I think so. That was your most requested character, right?
Oh, big time. Yeah,
So that
absolutely.
made a lot of people happy. I got Joker, who was probably my most requested character,
Yeah.
outside of Ultimate. Yeah, it's just like this is why this DLC has been so good so far. So we've got
Mm,
one of the most critically acclaimed JRPGs in
yeah.
recent years, and it's Persona 5. So that was already such a cool first character.
Yeah.
Second character, maybe not exciting for those in the West, but I think is very deserving to be in Smash Brothers nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um, and
I
then,
think
then the third
the
character has been had a very requested character since the 64 days.
yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think it is really cool to see that finally come to fruition. Um, and it's the classic design as well for Banjo-Kazooie. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
that's it. Rather than the blocky design from Nuts and Bolts, I think I
Yes.
was much happier with the new
Oh
design.
yeah.
Definitely.
Um, so yeah, I was going to talk about Joker quickly, because he came out during the last episode. Because I fucking love Persona 5. Was fucking ecstatic to see that he was coming to Smash. Like Christ. And I'm liking I'm liking the content, the Persona content in Smash. I think my favorite thing about it has been the music. We've got 11 music tracks, but for me, we had remixes of Beneath the Mask and Aria of the Soul, and I'm not gonna lie, I think those two may be my favorite remixes in all of Smash Brothers. They're just like so they bring about like a whole new feeling, a whole new vibe to those songs. Just makes it really upbeat. That's what I love about it. The Mementos.
Yeah, it's Joke looks cool. I've not used them yet. Actually, to be fair, I've not actually got the DLC yet,
Okay.
but I think I'll probably pick up the pack now
Um,
that you've got some other decent characters included as
yeah.
well.
The
So
thing
yeah,
with Joker is weird. It's like I like the character. He's very quick, very fast. And I like the extra weight added to Arsene when he comes out. And I think that's a really cool thing. But this came from a lot of people in the Smash community, and we're seeing a similar thing with the hero from Dragon Quest. Is that it seems like it seems like Joker has quite a lot of recycled moves from other fighters. And so you see
right.
that his up air is taken from Samus's up air, his forward air is taken from Zero Suit Samus's forward air, um, and other similar moves like that. And with the hero as well, we can see that the hero's dash attack is just Link's dash attack. Um, and so I am a bit worried that that definitely made Joker feel a bit less unique. Like, it
Hmm.
still felt like Joker, right? All his moves feel like, okay, that belongs to Joker. I feel the only one that didn't feel right was maybe the side smash. Um, but again, like it all fits nicely, and I think it's a fun character, and we still got this stage and the great music as well. So it's like, okay, that's fine. Um,
Yeah.
but especially with the hero
So,
now. Oh, sorry.
who are the next two characters, Matt?
I'm honestly not sure. Because I think we have one crazily requested character, and I think there's a high chance that it could be Sora, maybe.
Nah,
Um,
I don't think so.
I think it's possible. Because I'd say like next to Banjo, I'd see Sora's on the same level. I think the second two are gonna be third party. I don't think we're not gonna get any Nintendo characters for the rest of the
Popeye.
DLC. Pardon?
Popeye.
Popeye.
Because there's so many weird connections with Popeye and Nintendo being one of the first games they ever developed and stuff. It's just,
That'd be quite
it would
bizarre.
make so much weird sense.
Um, no, but I think I wouldn't say Sora because I think it would be another Square character and that may hurt things a bit. Maybe I'm not sure. Um,
Sora would work if we got Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, but
yes
I don't
and
think
no,
we are.
but it's like we're not. Banjo-Kazooie isn't on the Switch.
At least
Persona
he's got
5 isn't
credit
on
the
the
fact
Switch.
he's been on Nintendo games already. In fact, like
Same as
he's been
Sora.
in a Game Boy Advance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sora. That's what
yeah.
I'm talking about. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I just don't think we need another sword fighter kind of
No,
character. It's
no, but like I,
what
I, I
more
was, I was thinking
could you
about
change with
this.
it?
Going back to recycled content, is like people complain about sword fighters in Smash, but the thing is, I feel they all play pretty differently, unless they're like clones. Like you may talk about the
What do you
Fire
reckon
Emblem.
about Crash Bandicoot?
I wouldn't say no, but again, I wouldn't actively be yes. Anyway, like
Yeah,
I
I'm the
I I'd
same sort of thing.
I'd actively say yes about Banjo just because there's been such an outcry for Banjo, right? Whereas Crash, I don't feel has had that for as long. Um,
No,
no,
but he is popular in both Japan and the
that's
West as
true.
well.
Um,
In
since
fact, he's got a different
yeah,
name in Japan, I believe, as well,
really
and different art design and
different art
stuff. But
design, yes.
yeah,
That'd be crazy if we got like both designs if he ever comes over.
yeah,
Um, oh yeah, I wouldn't say no to Crash, but I wonder like how of a moveset he would be. Like again, it's Sakurai, so you could probably like have the most basic ass character and make a fun moveset out of him. Um,
mm.
but yeah, I don't know. But I think
I
one,
think it's difficult now.
I
It's going to get
think,
difficult now. Deciding who else we can have.
I think I think one of the slots will be filled up by a shooter character, and I think it'll be either Doom Guy, Master Chief, or
Doom
Tracer.
guy,
Yes, because Doom
Doom
Guy,
guy.
because Doom is well, we know Bethesda and Nintendo have a close relationship, and Doom is an iconic first-person shooter, right? So that's fine. Master Chief because
Two
it's
words: Duke Nukem.
no,
That'd be
absolutely
funny.
not. Um, so I think one of the slots will be filled up by a shooter. Oh yeah, Master Chief could happen because of Microsoft and Nintendo. That'd be an iconic move, I feel. But because Banjo is in as the Microsoft rep, it seems we may not be so lucky. And then I think the other option could be Tracer because it's Overwatch and that's quite big. Um,
Ugh,
the only
ugh.
thing going against that is that I think Overwatch's popularity is waning a bit. I, th- I think
It's
I, th- I
still
think I
popular
think
on Twitch,
I
to be
think the
fair.
characters are still highly popular, but it's more of the game in general. I think is a bit lacking now. Um, like it's not as popular as it once was in its heyday, let's say. Um, but yeah, Smash, is looking good for DLC. I'm just
I
worried
think we're
about
happy with it, aren't we?
yeah. I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed with it.
And what about the other big announcement?
The massive big announcement, which I don't think many people actually saw this coming, but we have a sequel of Breath of the Wild being in development. Um, oh, this is good. This is good. I can't wait. It's gonna like it's so obvious because I mean Breath of the Wild was so highly popular. They weren't gonna just go away and make an entirely new Zelda. They were gonna reuse it
No,
in some fashion, right? But
they built the world there. Why not try and do
hmm,
new stories with it, kind of thing?
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I can't get
But
what
it's
you mean.
like, oh, but it's just like it's very saucy. I'm really hoping for um a more story focus because I think Breath of the Wild was fun in gameplay, but not in story. The story was kind of meh, in honesty. Um, but from fan speculation, it's really creepy. Because one of the popular theories right now is that the dead mummy you see in the trailer is actually Ganondorf, and Ganondorf was
Yeah,
actually the hero that Ganondorf was actually the champion of Hyrule all those years ago, like 1,000 years ago. With
the
the
reason for that, Matt. I don't know if you've looked at any of the trailers again, but there's rumours that if you play it backwards, it sounds like Ganondorf's theme from the Ocarina of Time.
I
So,
didn't hear it was Ganondorf's theme. I heard it was more like the game over screen from the first Zelda.
oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the idea I saw. I've seen nothing. I've seen people like rewinding the music, but never saying what
Yeah.
music it came along with. The only one I've seen of that has been of the game over screen. Um,
Okay. Interesting. That still would work though. Either
it
way.
still could work, but I'm just looking forward to it because it is. Aonuma has confirmed that it's going to be quite creepy and darker in tone. Whether
It's
that's
Majora's Mask 2.
possibly yes. And I think that's gonna be cool because I don't want another basic ass Zelda game story, right? I want
Yeah.
things to get weird and spooky. It's
I think yeah,
spooky.
I think they've
Creepy.
achieved that.
I'm hoping. Um, I'm wondering though who's gonna be playable because one idea I saw is that the reason for Zelda's new short hair, which is very cute by the way, the reason for her new short hair is because she'll be playable. And so we won't have a long ass hair
That would
clipping
make
through the
sense. Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
So that'd be quite interesting to see. And I think that's what people want is playable Zelda in a
There,
main line.
there's been calls for a female Link or a female character to lead in that game for a while,
In a
isn't there?
mainline
So
Zelda game, yeah.
yeah. So
If you want to be technical, then yes, Zelda has been playable because she was kind of playable in Spirit Tracks, but that's not
let's
actually
not talk about the CDI now. So
okay. Yeah, no, like not counting those. Um,
not canon
Another
doesn't count.
idea, which I think would be sick, is like, what if there's a point in the game we get to play as Ganondorf? Oh, that'd be
Hyrule
sick.
Warriors.
In a mainline game. That. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited for Breath of the Wild 2. It was always on the cards. The fact that they haven't given us release date and that's just in development, I think it's not gonna come until 2021. I'm
Yeah,
think
it's
because
gonna
I
be
think
a long way, isn't it? Really, I don't
which
think
is
it's gonna be next
which I'm not gonna
2 years
lie,
at least.
I'm fine with because it's like okay, so yeah, I'd say like mainline Zelda games always aren't really announced within the final year, are they? Like Breath of the Wild 2 was like properly shown off like about 9 months before release, but we knew we knew about the game much before that point, right?
Right.
Um, yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway.
I'm excited for that game.
Hmm.
We know we're all going to pick it up and play it. So yeah,
Yeah.
cool. What a big announcement that is, though, to have a sequel to that huge game that's already
And what a
taken over most people's
huge
lives.
discussion that's spanned over 2 hours, it seems.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it wouldn't be a proper final episode if we didn't have that.
Always the way.
Right. So,
So out of all those games, Matt, what do you want to like pick up, kind of thing? What's
yes,
your
so like this is instead of what have we been playing, we have what will we be playing, like leaving you guys on a notes of the future kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, definitely, on the Nintendo side at least, Three Houses, Fire Emblem Three Houses, of course.
Yeah.
Astro Chain, Dragon Quest 11. Um, Pokemon, I'm still undecided on what um, version.
Yeah.
And Mario Maker 2. For my PS4, I'm thinking of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Judgment, which is made by the Yakuza team over at Sega. It seems to be Yakuza cross Phoenix Wright because you're a lawyer trying to solve a mystery, I
Right.
believe. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. I've not seen much of that.
But
But
yeah,
okay.
I've been meaning to get into the Yakuza series for ages, but I kind of don't want to because it seems a bit too overbearing. Um, but yeah, Judgment seems cool. And then, of course, Persona 5 Royal, which is the enhanced version of Persona 5, but it seems much more than just an enhanced version. It seems like a flat out remake already, because new characters, new palaces, new scenarios, whole new third of the game. Oh, it's going to be saucy. Um,
Saucy.
as for maybes, I'm still on the fence about Zelda, Luigi's Mansion 3, and No More Heroes 3. Because No More
You
Heroes
meant
3,
Link's Awakening there, didn't you?
yeah, like I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be happy playing it by no means, but I'm not sure I'd be like I'd rather get something more worth the money. I feel.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What
Cool.
about yourself, Jack?
Yeah, there's quite a few we sort of you've dabbled on there that I'll definitely be interested in. The Final Fantasy VII remake is probably one of the big games from E3 that looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, I'm still on the fence a little bit, but I think still gonna pick it up. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think it's even with all these like discussions about workloads and stuff like that, I still think we're gonna pick that up as well.
Hmm.
Mario Maker 2 is probably the next game I'm gonna be picking up because that's out very soon by the end of the month, I believe. Uh, Also love to look at Cyberpunk 2077 and also Watch Dogs Legion, which from Ubisoft. Definitely something different to that game. The fact that you can basically hire anyone in the world you want, and they've all got different storylines and things. A very unique aspect to it. But we were burnt on Watch Dogs before, so I'm waiting to find out about that. Got a couple of maybes as well. Battletoads look good for on the Xbox stage. There wasn't much shown off of it, but it's very cartoony battle style, so I might pick that up. Flight Simulator, Flight
This
Simulator
is
was
a weird
shown
one,
off,
yeah.
which was the weirdest sort of thing. But I loved them games when they were on the old on Windows 98 or 95 or whatever it was. So yeah, I'll probably give that a go. Give it a look. Even though I'm not the biggest EA fan ever, I did like the look of Jedi Fallen Order, so I might give that a go. But it really depends on what more they show off of that game. It seemed very, very wooden in a way of the actual battle mechanics of it. So I'd like to see more. Dragon Ball Z got a new game, and we normally buy every single one of them for some reason, even though they're exactly the same games. So, but the fact this one's more of a just round Goku Kakarot sort of style,
Hmm.
it may be a little bit more honed in on just that character. So that's kind of interesting aspect to it. But I would have preferred a Vegeta one, of course. So Um, and weirdly, Age of Empires 2 is having another remake of something, and I was
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah.
I thought they only just did this. This is why I'm confused. So I'm like, okay, it looks like I'm going to be buying that game once again. So, oops. But yeah, that's pretty much covered what for the future for us. I think so many games, so many times, and so little money to pay for these games at the moment. So yeah, one of those, Matt, isn't it?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Who knows?
But shall we move on to our shout outs and
To our
questions?
final section. So this is our final section of the podcast now for the last
Our
time ever.
final section.
Ooh. and we apparently want to finish this up because Jack's a very tired boy. Um,
It's 20 to midnight. It's well past my bedtime of 6 o'clock.
um, right. Just a quick question. Pixel Squid asked our favorite Nintendo E3 segment.
Banjo,
That's very
easy,
fair.
easy. Yeah,
Um, I'd say most surprising was probably Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but I think most exciting was definitely the Smash announcements. I feel. Um,
just a quick shout out to the actual reveal trailer for Banjo as well, with
that was
the Donkey
really cool.
Kong
Actually,
and Diddy Kong.
the best thing about those is that I'm really happy we got the CG animated trailers for the DLC
Yeah,
characters. Because
yeah,
I was very scared we were just gonna get like basic ass character trailers and maybe some voiceover stuff. I feel like that would have been there's still been hype because it's still the characters, but I feel that would have been less exciting, really.
yeah. It was
Because
good. It was good.
yeah, I was very happy with those trailers. They were really well done. The Dragon Quest was very epic, and then the Banjo's trailer was like really funny with the with K. Rool just chilling out in the treehouse, and then Duck Hunt, well, Duck Hunt dog being the troll
Yeah,
instead
they're
of Dee Dee.
doing
I
the
think that's
troll. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I like I like to think that was the reference to people seriously thinking that they could be the Echo Fighter of Duck Hunt,
yeah,
which is
yeah. Basically,
which is just really admittedly stupid wishful thinking, but it's like alas. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really cool to see nonetheless. Um, really well directed trailers all around. What else? Okay.
okay.
So that was Pixel Squid's question. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pixel Squids.
Lee Moore, your good friend, Chibi Hobo. Um, what on earth should I listen to now you and Nintendo Voice are gone?
Ah,
um,
that's
listen
true.
to the soundtrack of Cadence of Hyrule, in addition to
There,
the Beneath the Mask remix in Smash Ultimate.
there are loads of really good Nintendo podcasts out there, though, as well. Just to give a shout out to a
Hmm.
few. Switch Talk is one of my favourite ones. I've been listening to quite a lot recently. They're pretty cool, and they've been playing through Ocarina of Time recently and doing
Hmm.
podcast episodes of it, which is kind of unusual, but it worked quite well. Also, check out Mouse Bites and Strictly Game Boy, made by the same people. Mouse Bites is like a Disney themed gaming sort of thing,
Right.
but they mainly play on old like NES and SNES games and things like that. So that's pretty cool to check out. And Strictly Game Boy is just for Game Boy games. Pretty good little podcast as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, there you go. There's a few. Go check those out. I'm sure there's plenty of other brilliant ones as well.
I haven't admittedly been listening to too many podcasts, admittedly.
Though.
Um, but yeah, like there are definitely like other great ones out there. I think Nintendo
Oh,
Dads is one of the bigger ones.
yeah, Nintendo Dad. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, I totally forgot about them. I was literally going to just say that, and Infendo Radio as well, who are
Inverter
also
Radio, yes,
another
that's a good
brilliant,
one.
yeah,
Um,
brilliant Nintendo group.
Manak Emmers, I'm sorry if I butchered his name yet again. Uh, he says, I have so many thoughts, but when I go to type them out, they just vanish. I will enjoy the last episode and be sad at the same time. It has been a blast. It has
Oh,
indeed.
man. Thank
Um,
you, Malik. That's so
Manak has been
kind.
a great supporter of us for all these years recently, and I've always greatly appreciated that we had such a high level of support from Malik um, across so many years on the show.
Yeah,
Um, so it really does mean a lot that we did get a comment like that. So thank you, Malik.
yeah. Thank you,
Um,
Malik. Brilliant.
Gary, Gary Gray, good friend of the show, has said all the best for the future, guys. I'll miss the show. I'm sure we
Yeah,
will too. To be fair,
yeah.
it has let us do
But
a lot of crazy
it's
things.
got it's got to that point we still enjoyed doing it, but it's just we just couldn't consistently do it as
No,
well though, and
and I feel
not
like
not as,
our audience deserves better.
yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
by
So.
having nothing at all. um,
Bless.
and then Stealth 40k, I was quite surprised because Stealth's quite a quite the influencer on Twitter, has quite a big following. He said, "I've loved listening for a long time. I wish nothing but the best for what comes next for everyone." Um,
Yeah, we
I
nearly
was quite
had
surprised
Stealth on as a
because
guest, didn't we?
we did one time, but technical issues got in the way of that. I just wasn't expecting a message from such a big dude on Twitter in the Nintendo community.
He's
Um,
doing really well at the moment on
mm,
Twitter as well, and got a great following behind him, and
of
giving out
course.
games all the time. So it's worth following on Twitter if you haven't already.
Um, so for that, thank you again for that nice message. And now just on to general shoutouts. Jack, would you like to go first?
Yes, of course, yeah. Those that don't know, I've been doing some work with Nintendo Village at the moment, which is the nintendovillage.org, I believe, on when we just no .com, sorry, nintendovillage.com, and there's loads of different like articles and podcasts and other little sort of things like streaming and YouTube, and there's all sorts of other things going on in the background at the moment, including like Discord and stuff like that. So I'll mainly be working with them guys to sort of still be doing some podcasts every now and then, just not as many probably. But yeah, every now and then we might sort of hop on to do something on there and help out other people or whoever needs support. I'm willing to sort of come and help out anywhere I can. So hopefully that will be something interesting in the future. I know there's a few ideas running about running a new podcast through them with multiple different talented people. So maybe I'll be featured in that at some point in the near future. So it's not the end for podcasting for me. Like I said in my Twitter recently when we announced that we were ending this podcast. But yeah, it's been pretty excellent sort of time, and I've really enjoyed everything I've done on the podcast here, and I think we've definitely got extra skills and learned more things from doing the podcast. So, I'm meeting great people as well. Without doing this podcast, I wouldn't have met half the people I do from like EGX Res and EGX itself as well and things like that. So it's been pretty cool for me personally. But yeah, it's one of those. It's unfortunately all good things have to come to an end. So, and that's it for it really. So, just a quick sort of shout out then to Paul Lloyd, who's the big Mario Maker gamer, who I highly recommend you all go and follow and watch all his stuff on Mario Maker 2 when it comes out, and currently on Mario Maker. He's still playing that game years and years ago since it's come out. But yeah, he's a talented guy, and his live streams are hilarious normally, so it was worth a check. Thanks, Gary, for your question. And again, with Nintendo Village, all the people on there will be looking for more stuff in the future. So if anyone's interested, please come get in contact with them. I just want to give a shout out to Nintendo Voice, who also recently just shut down their podcast, as mentioned. They were a great influence on us for when we were sort of doing podcasts at the same sort of time, and I was listening to theirs religiously, kind of thing, because I thought it was an excellent podcast. I know Colin is still doing live streams. He did a Wind Waker playthrough with a different character. I think he used Ganondorf, I believe, in his last playthrough, but it was like a random items, random chest opening sort of thing as well, and it was really interesting to watch. I've never seen it before, but well worth giving a follow. I will share some links with Matt so he can add it to the description and stuff like that. So that'd be cool. To Mega Dads and Nintendo Dads, I'm just going to put them all together because they're basically two other podcasts who do lots of gaming content. Nintendo Dads have been supportive to us quite a lot for all the things we've been doing, and they've been helping to sort of put our name out there a little bit about the early days of having our stuff on VG Tribune and things like that. But they've been brilliant, and it was nice to meet up with a couple of them recently and things like that. Yeah, and other than that, I think I'm pretty much there. Other than there's some articles on nintendovillage.com now. Go check them out. My name's on a couple of them. You can sort of read through a few other articles and things on there now. So cool. Sorry, Matt. It's all yours now. You go. I went on
Finally.
too long there. Yeah.
I kind of just wanna Um, well, for me, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'll maybe talking about that in a little while. I just want to kind of want to talk about people that like I already inspire to be with, and like hopefully collaborate in the future if I can. One of them I've got mentioned here is Liam Robertson. He has really cool videos. Today he just posted a half an hour documentary vid all about Elite Beat agents and that and those kind of games. Because he's been really hyped up about this video for ages, and he was finally able to like finally get that out. So that's really cool to see, and there's a lot of cool work there. Um, I'm just trying to go through my following list because I've not prepared anything. Sadly, it just came to my head that I should like say this kind of shit right now.
Mhm.
Scott the Was, I just really like him. I think his personality is really nice. It seems, and I love his sense of humor, and that's and the amount of content he puts out, which is about 1 week, one video every week. Um, which in comparison to like people who do a similar thing to him, it was really cool to see. So I think, yeah, so Scott was definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. Really funny stuff. He's just an all-around nice guy. Love to meet him one day. Um, who else? The people at Game Explain. Of course, very nice people. It seems. We'll love to like do something for them one day. Be it like an interview, not an interview, um, review, or like do an under the super scope kind of deal. That'd be kind of cool. Um, Ramses is a very not a very small YouTuber, but like 50k subscribers, which is pretty hefty. But I feel it could be bigger. He could be bigger because I really just like his humor, like Scott the Was as well. This is getting too long. Source Gaming as well. They do really cool stuff there as well. Really dedicated to just providing the best info possible. Who else?
Just while I think about it, Jason and Sam, the former guests, the former hosts, even.
Oh,
Um,
fucking course.
thanks, guys. Thanks very much, guys, for all your help and support over the years. It's been pretty cool
Hmm.
to have everyone involved at the start, and of course we all dropped out slowly and things like that, and life takes over and stuff like that. So it's been cool, and I really miss having Sam on the podcast. I think he when he left, it sort of wasn't quite the same, but I think we still carried on well and did everything we could, kind of thing, to keep this going. But like I said, it's just all good things come to an end. So
Yeah.
and
Um.
all the guests we've had as well, because
Oh
there've been some
yes,
excellent guests over the years as well.
we've had
So
some amazing guests on the show before. I'm just gonna do like three final ones here. Insane Lorraine Music, definitely my favorite cover artist on YouTube. He just does amazing jazz covers. I've talked about him before on the show, but it's like Christ, he does good stuff.
yeah,
Um, as well as Ryan Brown. I just think he's really dedicated to sharing video game news and just dedicated to the medium as a whole. And I
big
just
shout
really like to
out.
see
Yeah,
that. Yeah, and he's just an all-around nice dude. So I
yeah,
can't
definitely.
find much fault there. um, and
Rich
then
from
finally
Switch
with
Players Mag as well.
oh yes, of course, Switch Plays Mag. Good people there. I hope to work with them in the future as well. And all the people that work there as well. And finally, just want to say Game Maker's Toolkit. I love his analysis videos. They're so engaging. Um, yeah, and that's just really inspiring to like do some more analytical videos rather than just the top 10 vids
Yeah,
that I
definitely.
often dump. Um, but yeah, so that's I'd say that's it for my shout
Everything.
outs. Yes. And of course, one big final shout out to, as Jack was going on about just now, all the guests that have appeared on our show. I remember like really being excited about Roger's bass coming on all the way when we first started. I thought that was really
Mm,
cool.
yeah,
I'd
definitely.
love to do like something with him again in the future because it's been 4 years, and I'd love to like have a bit more of that connection shown off. Source Gaming from last year, of course. Good friends with the show. Um, Ollie Jameson. and Dan from Dan's Distillery. Both really nice dudes. People out at Nintendo Dads, the people at Nintendo Village.
Mickey as well.
Mickey, good friend Mickey.
Rich as well has come on
Of
for talk
course.
about music. Yeah.
Um,
Who else we had?
we had Malik on.
Malik was on. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Gary Gray.
Let me yeah, Gary Gray. Yeah, we had Source Gaming on. I already said that.
Ollie.
Ollie, mentioned Ollie.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think who else now. Oh, Lee was on, wasn't he, for one episode?
Lee Moore.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Trudge Thompson from Monster Hunter, I
Trudge.
believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Hi, Trudge. You'll probably
Who
listen.
else? Oh man, who else?
I think I'm running out of people now.
Nintendo Voice, of course.
Nintendo Voice.
Um, I'm still liking the impromptu episode where we just decided, yeah, fuck it, let's just get every person from Nintendo Voice on here. That was just
Yeah,
that was just so
it was
bizarre.
good. It was funny.
That was really fun.
But you can listen to them all on YouTube. They'll all still be there whenever you want to go back to listen to something like crazy like that. Like I said, I will be closing the links to downloading on iTunes and likewise podcast catchers. I will be closing the links down probably the end of July, so just to pre-warn you all. But yeah, there's plenty of time to download stuff. If you do have trouble downloading stuff, please get in contact. We can quite easily send you a file over if needs be, kind of thing. So, but yeah, thank you all for listening for all this time, and it's been pretty cool to be part of this sort of community and talking to people just about games and just talking to each other about games, you know. Thank you, Matt, for starting this all up, basically. You know, if we didn't have that, well, Street Pass UK podcast, if we didn't have that, and talk randomly to some child on the internet. So
Don't make it worse than it seems, even though that is kind of the truth.
If you didn't say, does anyone else want to make a podcast, and I went, yeah, that's basically, and it just sort of happened from there. So yeah, it's cool. I know it's weird how it started, and it's like been what 4 years maybe.
4 years.
So, but it's been happy 4 years, and I'm glad we're going out on a high kind of thing rather than.
Seems like it's a high, unless people have already tuned out from the mega long E3 discussion.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I just kind of well, Jack's pretty much stone on everything I wanted to say, really. But yeah, it's just just a massive thank you to, of course, Sam and Jason, who were part of the crew for quite a long time. It wasn't really quite the same when they left on their own terms when they did.
Yeah.
What else? It's just of course, a massive.
Everything, man.
Yeah, but of course, massive thank you to my wonderful co-host Jack. He's been so willing to put up with my BS of gushing about Danganronpa and
it's funny because it's true.
But yeah, I just really appreciate that level of support that he's put out so often. It's just been great to have. Yeah, and that's all.
Just keep doing what you're doing,
say.
and you'll definitely get there, man. You know, it's just.
So, the future now. What's going on in the future for Jack Gorn?
Well, firstly, it's sorting out, moving out. I'm moving into a new place myself, and then once I've got all that sorted, I think I will still be doing the likes of YouTube. I'll still be on Twitter, so if anyone does want to chat gaming or something to me, they're more than welcome to come join. Like I said, I'm joining Nintendo Village in some capacities, sort of helping with that community sort of things on there. Still running Southampton events with Hampshire Gaming Hub. So yeah, there's still lots of things going on. It's not the end for podcasting for me, but it's still a temporary move away. So it's the best way to describe it, I suppose. So, but yeah, there's still plenty of places to find me. I said it's all Gorney7789 on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and just come and chat, and we can go from there, really. So,
Um, yeah.
and you, Matt, what's the future for Matthew?
As for me, I'm going to continue being a uni student for either one more year or 2 more years if I'm stupid enough to do masters. Um, I'm gonna I think I could work harder during the just during a normal semester or a lot more during holidays because after this last set of exams, I'm kind of not sure about my ability anymore. Even though I did pretty good in the first semester, I'm a bit worrying about how this semester went. I'm just gonna see how it goes. If I do shit, that's on me. I've got to go through that and improve. And stuff like that though, I know I've been saying this for years now, but I really do. I am feeling more motivated to try and write some more stuff, try and be a bit more active in this community now that this podcast has ended. So that's by writing more stuff, maybe doing some more stuff on YouTube. For E3, I did my prediction stream. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was
Um,
cool. That.
I may be doing I may just doing some more city streams like that. Those seem quite chill. Or maybe one of the things I wanted to do over the summer is replay Danganronpa V3 and write a big old write up on how um how ambitious that game is in terms of the story and likewise because I've been meaning to do that for years. There's a big old piece on Splatoon. How I think its gameplay is so well crafted, but at the same time how everything surrounding that gameplay is not so hot, i.e., the rotation system and stuff like that. Because that's been a big thing on my mind for quite a while. Um, and of course, starting my own site. I think my title so far is Mindless Endeavor, which I'm not sure is the best or catchy title, but that's the only title I have. And in all honesty, the title has been the thing holding me back because I haven't thought of a good title in ages. But once I have a definite title, I'd be like, right, let's get this sorted. Because now I actually have a brand to build off of, and then I could actually get properly started. So be on the lookout for that. But for the most part, just follow me on Twitter at Acegibbo, Acegibbo. It'll be in the description or on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, that's about it. I may do a podcast in a similar vein to Chris Scullion's Untitled Hack podcast, where it's more bite-sized episodes. Maybe I'm not sure. Not for a long while though. So I may come back to podcasting, but it'll be a hefty while, and it will contain anime, not just Nintendo. So have fun with that. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Sorry for going on a bit too long. Right.
It's been emotional.
It has. It's been a really great 4 years, 4 years and a bit. It's really added to our lives in this community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Allowed us for so many more opportunities in this
Big time.
space. Um, and has of course led us to meet so many new and cool people as well. So yeah.
Do you know what though, Matt? This is episode 64, and we've not mentioned Nintendo 64 very much
See,
at all.
this is the thing. I was admittedly, ending the podcast has been on my mind, but it's you know what? I want to get it to 64 just for the fact because it'll be episode 64. Because that'd be so fitting for Nintendo show. Because
Yeah,
it's 64, the console.
the best console.
Speaking of which, 64 is actually my lucky number. Did you know that?
And on that bombshell,
Yes. And with that brings us to the end of episode 64, the final episode of Nintendo Podcast System. For the last time, you can find the podcast on YouTube. iTunes, Podomatic, but not for long, and on Spotify, Google Play, all sorts of that will be in the description. But for the legacy and where it will definitely always be, will be on YouTube. Apologies in advance if things turn sour on our other services. Because I imagine our social media for the podcast will not be as active anymore.
I'll
I know I
probably
won't be.
close the Facebook down. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be tweeting. I'll be keeping up the Twitter for M Podcast System, but I won't be tweeting from it. It'll be a bit. It will just exist basically. But as always, you could just find us on Twitter, and YouTube, and all that good stuff will be in the description below. That's it. Didn't mention the music this episode, but to be honest, I'm not sure what the music is gonna be. I kind of want it to be kind of fitting, in a sense. So I'm not sure what exactly it should be. But yeah,
The audience will find out.
But the audience will know, yeah. Know better than us right now. Anyway, that just about does it for the last ever episode of Nintendo Podcast System. Thank you to everybody that has supported the show, that have listened over the years, shared it, done whatever with it, what have you. But thank you all so much for listening. I hope you've all enjoyed, and for the last time, happy gaming.
Happy gaming.
That was a bit somber.
Ah.